Bible. The Bible's corrupted, and so the Bible's corrupted. Your Quran says so.
Yeah.
Hey, Chemo. So, second, hold on real quick. 2 Samuel 11:11 doesn't even say anything of what Chemo posted. There's what 2 Samuel 11:11 actually says. There's 11, 12, and 13. And nowhere in there, Chemo, does it say what your fucking meme says?
That Bible is older than the one you presented, Pure.
Hey, percentage.
So it says something completely different?
Your version is a newer version. Newer.
Well, it ain't my version. It's just what the Bible says. And
what version did you read it in, Chemo, to verify your words?
Kind of curious, percentage. If the devil showed Jesus the kingdom of God and the kingdom of the devil, would not that be all the kingdoms on the earth?
If the devil showed what?
If the devil showed Jesus the kingdom of the devil and the kingdom of God, would not that be considered all the kingdoms of the earth?
No.
Why?
Because who said that hell or heaven is in earth?
Aren't those the two kingdoms? You're either with God or you're against God. You can't be both.
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Where
you're talking about metaphysical kingdoms, like teams.
Yeah, exactly. Can you prove to me that?
How do you show a team?
You
show the people.
Can you prove to me that scripture wasn't metaphorical? That he was talking about, let's say Egypt, China, the United Kingdom, the different
Aztecs,
or was he talking metaphorically? How can you?
He wasn't talking metaphorically, because if he was talking metaphorically, he wouldn't need to take him to a high mountain, now would he?
Well, why not?
Because if it was metaphorically, he could just explain it, the metaphor.
All right, so back to my question.
You wouldn't need to physically show him kingdom.
What does a kingdom in South America look like, or a kingdom in America? From 3,000, 4,000 miles away. How big is it? Can you resolve anything?
What was that?
You're on top of this mountain, let's say 29,000 feet. Now, let's go to 300,000 feet. We're up 300,000 feet, and we're looking out towards South America. What does South America look like?
Who knows? It looks like South America.
Does it? From an oblique angle like that, from 300,000 feet?
It would look like South America at an oblique angle. What kind of question is this?
You're only going to see like the first tree in the way.
How would you know?
Somewhere around the coast of South America, you're going to start having trees blocking your view because the angle will be so shallow.
Let's say you're as high as the sun.
Okay, so
you're going to see everything, would you not?
How high is that?
You see a dot from the height of the sun.
How
doesn't
high
matter.
is
Still see it. You don't have to be able to distinguish every single thing, but you can still see it.
I mean, percentage, since you brought it up, how high is the sun?
Probably like, I don't know, but like probably 3,000 miles or so.
What evidence do you have for that?
I don't. That's why I said probably. That's why I said I don't know. That's why it's speculative. I don't claim to know things that I don't know, like you Globers.
Are you eating again?
All things on flat Earth are speculative. You're right.
No, I just have a lisp.
Making fun of people and how they sound. People make fun of me for that, and it's not proper. I'm just attacking
my lisp is gone.
No, it's still there, but who cares?
What are you talking about?
Some people have lisp. Some
that lisp from eating on mic like a root cunt.
Some people walk a little slower so they can
plead the fifth.
words better.
I mean, the Bible is manipulated, or it was over time it was corrupted. So sometimes you can't really tell what they got right and what they got wrong. But this is definitely one of the things they got right.
I like how you get to pick and choose what's right and wrong in it.
It's right because it follows our direct empirical observations of the Earth. It's observed.
Except that it doesn't,
flat,
and you know that. You just ignore everything that's not something that you are willing to. You are willing to put up impossible barriers to things simply because you are making sure that you follow a presupposed position of flat Earth. Stop.
It's not presupposed. It's literally supported by evidence, by direct empirical evidence, definitive evidence.
By evidence, you mean in the Bible? Because the Bible was just written in
observable evidence. We look at the horizon; it's flat. We feel the Earth; it's motionless.
How is looking at the horizon definitive?
It's definitively flat.
That's not definitive in any way, shape, or form, because as you go up, you begin to realize that dip angles to the horizon and the way they change aren't in the way that you would imagine that they would be on a flat Earth. And when you get high enough, you even get to see that that you're getting curvature in your view. You can't.
I don't think so.
Cannot say.
You haven't shown me that.
It's been shown to you many times.
Only with barrel distortion.
One with the red lines.
It's not barrel distortion. I
have never seen a horizon curving unless it was barrel distortion. Ever
when it goes
in my
above
life.
the middle of the frame, in many cases, it should have been the opposite direction, but it doesn't. It still continues to show a downward bend on either end.
Okay, so anyone that lives like above sea level that can, do this, like remember we were talking the other day about doing that test again.
Dwayne Kellum has done it himself. He's a flat earther with high altitude balloons, and he is using rectilinear lenses, and he has shown that
rectilinear lenses still have barrel distortion.
Yes, but if you go above the center line of the camera, you would expect it to bend the other direction, and it doesn't.
Is that so?
Correct.
Where's your evidence for this claim?
It's in barrel distortion. Look at the distortion pattern.
No, I know, but where's the evidence that even if the horizon is at the top of
Go check out Dwayne
field of view, top
check out
frame,
Dwayne
and it's still bending that way?
Break out a camera and do it.
Go check out Dwayne Kellum stuff. Dwayne Kellum is a flat earther who has done this. You've been presented his shit before, and you just kept saying no.
No, go ahead. Show me the frame that you're talking about, where the horizon is at the top of the
You're not
frame,
going to look for it because it's been shown.
it's still bending that way. It hasn't bent or straightened out.
Put it at the top, so where it's maximum. Why don't we stick with the area where it is?
Well, we're trying to get away from the center frame, right? That's what he said. He said put it above the
You're
center
trying to
frame.
get away from center frame. Because center frame
Put it at
fucks
the
your
very
world
top
up.
of the frame.
But he said put away from center frame, and it's still curving in that direction.
I didn't say away from center of frame. I said when it's above the center of frame, you still have the same downward bend. Dwayne Kellum.
When it's above center frame, is it on center frame or away from center frame?
Above the center of frame.
Yeah, above means away from the center frame, right?
You know what? You know what below means as well? Below
means
below,
away
above,
from
above.
Downwards, whereas above is away upwards.
And that doesn't mean I need to put it at the very top of the fucking
Doesn't need to
frame.
be the top. Okay, put it above and let's see how the
It's already been done. It's been
curve is
shown to you
changing.
from Dwayne Kellum himself. If you
So
don't
where's the
remember that, you're
demarcation
wrong
from the
on it.
curvature of the horizon versus
I'm done with
the
you. You're
effect
just
of the
going
barrel
to keep
distortion?
arguing over the top of me.
No, I'm honestly. Let's say we're slowly moving it away from
No.
the frame. You're saying if
You're
it's a little
not
bit
honest.
above, the curve is still apparent. You move it a little bit more above,
Yes.
the curve is not apparent. Where is the demarcation from what's barrel distortion and what's curvature of the Earth?
When you move it above frame, the curve is still there, which means, guess what? The Earth isn't fucking flat.
Okay, and then you move it up a little bit more, and it's not there anymore. So where's the demarcation?
So once it goes above center frame for barrel distortion, that would mean that any downward curve, if it was due to barrel distortion, would be gone. If it's still curved downward above the center of frame at any point, congratulations, it's not fucking flat.
Can you provide this video that you're talking about so we can actually have eyes on
It's
it?
been provided to you 4 fucking times over the past.
What's not flat? What are you taking a picture of?
He's saying that high altitude balloon, that above
Right,
the
I get
center
it.
frame, it's still curved just as it is
What's
below center
curved?
frame. The
What's
horizon.
curved? Yeah, the horizon. Not the Earth, right?
Yeah, he's saying the horizon is curved because of the Earth's curve, and the way he knows that is because
We're
above center
discussing
frame,
horizon because
where
that's
the
what
curve would
because that's what
invert. If
percent
it was
brought
barrel
up.
distortion, it doesn't invert. So I'd like to see this video.
It's
Yeah,
shown to you
that's
at least
crazy,
4
right?
times.
So you're not showing water curving or earth curving. You're showing a horizon curving,
The
supposedly.
discussion was the horizon.
Great argument, bro. Hey, great argument, man.
Percent brought up the horizon as though
No,
that
I'm asking you. No, this is your argument, right?
By all means, do that.
This is your argument. You're saying I'm not showing the water curving. So you're not letting me restate it.
Right now, you're trying to change his argument to defend
No, I'm not.
himself.
This is your argument, isn't it?
No, he was the one who brought up
proof of earth curve.
He was the one who brought up horizon.
He's arguing against you, bro. He's arguing against you, bro.
Yeah, this is proof of earth curve. I'm saying the horizon's flat. He's saying no. Well, the horizon is curved because if you take it above where barrel distortion would start to be apparent, it's not as apparent as it would be.
That's not the way you said it.
Well, it's not earth curve either way, right?
Not what I said. I said that if you're using rectilinear lanes, you cannot claim barrel distortion when you go above frame and the downward curvature is if you go above the center of frame and the downward curvature is still there.
Yes, you can actually.
Explain to me how barrel distortion.
It's what's it called? It's a gradual distortion, right? So it starts, and even at center frame, you might still have barrel distortion because a lot of these cameras aren't perfectly
above
spherical.
Center frame, you're going to get distortion with the ends going up, not down.
Yeah, if it's perfectly symmetrical.
Center frame,
then
you get a flat line if it's a flat line. Above the frame, if it's a flat line, you get bend up. Below the center frame. Yes, exactly. So if you take it above the center frame, the line is still bending down, then the line bends down.
I'm still waiting on the evidence.
How difficult is that?
It's not difficult. I'm still waiting on the evidence. But you have to understand, even at center frame, if it's not perfectly symmetrical...
It's shown to you a dozen goddamn times over the past year.
If you're not a perfectly symmetrical lens, even at center frame, you could still have barrel distortion.
If the lens wasn't symmetrical, you'd have...
I have a question for you. If we show you a picture and you're claiming that distortion causes it, why is it that when you show us the black swan that you want to ignore the distortion in that?
Oh, we don't. The black swan lets us see, it shows us that we can see 10 times farther than we would if there was no refraction, right? If it was just a geometrical horizon. Now, you guys are claiming that the reason we see that is because of refraction. It's an unfalsifiable claim, unprovable claim. It's an argument from ignorance, literally. You're saying because we can't prove that it's refraction or falsify that it's refraction, therefore it's true that it's a globe Earth and it's refraction.
And then you come here with this argument,
just like this.
Say light is bending in this instance, right? That disproves flat Earth. But in this horizon, the light is not bending. We took a picture of this light not bending, right? It's actually curved, right? With a certain lens.
Exactly. You see the horizon. Sorry, go ahead, Ricky.
Well, I just want to finalize. So what we're talking about here is not earth curve and not water bending, correct?
Yes, we're talking about the horizon. So they're saying because the horizon is bending, that means that the earth is curving, even though they haven't proven that, and neither have we falsified it. So it's, again, another argument from ignorance.
No proof of earth curve. Thank you. And definitely no measurement of it.
Yeah, the fucking argument was he said that the horizon being flat is definitive proof of a flat Earth.
It's a definitive proof of a flat horizon, yes.
No, you said that a flat horizon was definitive proof that the Earth is flat.
No, I said the horizon is observably flat and the Earth is observably motionless. If you look at the horizon, it's flat. If you feel the
one of those,
that's what I said. Exactly. You could even pull me up.
Yeah, but if you're close enough to a hula hoop, that looks flat. So does that mean that the hula hoop's definitely flat? Because
argument,
if you look
man,
at
that's terrific.
That it's flat.
Yeah, great argument.
That's a false analogy.
As good as your other argument.
Okay, so there you go, percent. There's a down.
Because the horizon is apparent, whereas the hula hoop is a tangible thing.
You know what? Here you go, percent. Here's a picture. Here's a picture of the horizon bending downward, well above the center frame. Have fun.
So is the Earth not a physical thing now, or is the Earth physical?
That's a dumb question. So, does anyone here disagree that the horizon can appear above the horizontal
object? Is the Earth physical or not?
Yeah, just answer it yourself, Lil. Does anyone disagree that the horizon, the apparent horizon, can appear above a horizontal?
Why are you afraid to answer the question of is?
Why is the horizon at the 1/3 mark in this image?
What do you mean? Why is it up there? It's on a balloon. It dips and bends.
Okay, but this is like where the lens has dipped a little bit, and it sees mostly Earth and not as much sky.
Yeah, but you can see the horizon plain as day, bending down well above the center of frame.
Yeah, but the lens is dipping down to look mostly at the Earth.
And that matters. Why?
It does matter.
Why?
Because it's not straight. It's not looking at it straight ahead.
Does that matter?
Yeah, it matters to me.
Well, I'm sorry that
Do you have one where the horizon is where the Earth meets the sky in the center? The vanishing point is supposed to be in the center. So this isn't a good image of the horizon.
This isn't about the fucking vanishing point.
Was that camera angled?
That camera's dipped a little bit. Yes.
Wow. You give him what he wants. He wants the horizon above center of frame. You give it to him. Shift the goalpost.
Yeah. I have to tilt the camera down to put the horizon away from center of frame.
Why? I thought the horizon always bends. I thought
it has nothing to do with what I just said.
I thought when you rise, the horizon dips below eye level. This one's way above eye level. Why is that?
If I want to put it above eye level, I have to dip the damn camera at that height.
No, but you guys say as when you rise up, because it's a globe, the horizon dips below eye level, without even changing the camera or the lens or the angle that it's facing.
Correct. Something that we would expect on a sphere. To put the horizon above the center of frame, I have to dip the camera.
You know, it always doesn't do that, right?
That's from that height.
You know, I can show you a horizon above the horizontal. Correct.
I think you're about to pick one of George's photos, and one of them was George actually
or Jesse's
down.
Or Jesse's.
And I don't actually know the context of those photos, and I can't believe words that come out of your mouth.
Cool. No, you don't have to believe my words. You just look at the photo.
I don't know what the photos are from.
You know, of George with a horizontal with the horizon above it.
I do not know.
Another proof that it's just an apparent position.
The tendency to misrepresent what they say.
Yeah. I'm representing the photo? You can look at the photo and make your own determination. I mean, you can either lie about it or you can call me a liar.
I cannot tell what they did just by looking at the goddamn photo, Rikia.
Maybe you should look.
I've seen it 1,000 times, and it doesn't tell me anything. And listening to you.
So now you know the photo I'm talking about?
Yes, it's one you posted.
So now
you posted a lot, and I still don't have a damn clue what they mean.
I'm not lying,
because I've only ever seen you post them. I don't know what they say about them.
No, George posted them, not me. George did.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know what George said about them. I do not know what George said about them, and I cannot trust you to say it correctly.
You don't. I wouldn't want you to. Is the horizon in the pictures that you've seen that George posted above the horizontal? That George.
I don't know if that's the fucking horizontal.
I thought you saw the photo.
I don't know if that's the horizontal.
You don't know what the crosshairs where he says these crosshairs are 90 degrees? You know,
I don't know what direction he pointed the fucking theodolite. You need to shut up and get on with it.
What direction? He says it's 90 degrees.
I don't know that that's true. It doesn't say that anywhere on the pictures, and I don't have George to verify what you're saying.
Yes, it does. It shows it right on the picture in red letters. What's your excuse now? I mean, just agree that it's very simple, right? Just agree that sometimes, due to refraction, that the horizon can appear above the horizontal.
Not at the height. See, not at the height of the Mage 2 camera.
So it depends on the height. Is that what you're saying?
Part of it's going to depend on the height. Yes, as you're closer to highly refractive surfaces, you're going to get.
Not only the height, right? But not only the height, correct? Yeah, I heard you. You said height.
How did you hear me when you were talking right through the entire second half of my sentence and wouldn't even let me get the second?
So you agree that it's not just height then, right? That you just stated that?
Do I agree? What are you
talking about? That it's more than one factor?
Of course there's more than one factor, but guess what? We have most of the factors understood, and we don't have any factors that do what you need them to do.
Okay, so you agree that the horizon can appear above the horizontal then? Because I'm trying to drag you through it, and you're fighting it the whole way, although you know it happens. Because you've already agreed, right? You've already said, well, at that height it might.
At that height, close to a very refractive surface, you can get some bending that can make the world look concave. It's true. It's a very rare thing.
Okay. Could you go at a certain height and make the world look convex?
No.
At what height would you go to make the world look flat?
You can't make the world look flat.
You can't. You can only make it look concave and curved.
By having a horizon at all, you can't make the world look flat.
Because what I'm saying, in that instance, it would depend on the lens, the atmosphere, the height, the distance, the angle, the light source.
No, not really.
You're just saying it's one thing, right?
What you're not understanding is that on a flat Earth, anything seen would be seen.
What I'm not understanding.
You don't seem to understand that on a flat Earth, if anything is large enough to be seen, you would be able to see it.
How do you know that? Have you ever been on a flat Earth?
That's a weird thing to say, and it has nothing to do. It's a weird.
It's weird for you to say it can't happen on a flat Earth.
Give me a mechanism by which we see the things that we see on the flat Earth.
Just know what you know, right? Based on your opinion.
You're not going to answer my question or give me the mechanism that's going to do this.
Well, I don't think it's right to move on from it can't happen on a flat Earth. When you how the hell would you know that?
Given what's understood about light, it can't happen. Now, provide me with something I don't know that'll make it happen.
What if what if we are on a flat plane, right? And what you're seeing is what you see, and how it happens is all the factors that go into it. That we mentioned.
So vague appeal,
more, right?
vague appeal to a bunch of unknowns is not much of a mechanism, Rakia.
So then what you're saying is because I can't prove it to you. You'll never believe it.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that you are going up against a mountain of evidence with no evidence, and you're trying to say that it works the way you need it to.
See, I don't think that. I think the mountain of evidence is there, right? I think it's all there. I think.
Tell me about it. If you think it's there, if you're privy to what this knowledge is, show it
and learn about it. And I'll just keep talking. It's all right. I can hear you. And if everyone would just go out and do their own research and study and observations, then they would realize this over a flat plane. Because 2.7 miles, right? That's pretty much a flat plane, right? Even on a sphere as big as what you say we live on. And these things are happening over a flat surface.
You haven't quantified what things.
The horizontal. Hang on. The horizontal. The horizon appearing above the horizontal, over 2.7 miles and less and more.
All the stuff you want, but we're on a
not much curve there, is it, buddy?
A ball that is sufficiently sized with an atmosphere near a refractive surface can give you some unusual effects. Sure. That doesn't mean that everything is flat.
Like
you're having to throw away literally all of optics, all of physics to try to make this work. Please provide an alternative.
So let's say a 6-foot man at the beach looking at a boat. You would say that's in that refractive zone?
Depends on the weather conditions.
What? Depends on what? The atmosphere.
Jesus Christ. I said it depends on the weather conditions. It's going to depend on a lot of things. That's why we tend to do big observations away from the surface, so we can get away from that which is most affecting clear observation.
So you would agree that would never, ever, ever should be used as Earth curve proof, right?
We don't ever try to use try to use observations from 6 feet as a proof for Earth curve.
You don't?
No, that's mainly.
I hear scientists every day say.
I'm in the middle of talking.
Matter of fact, their number one proof is just go to the beach. Watch the ship go over the curve.
That's just one thing that people say because it's easy to do.
I would challenge you. Yeah, but you just agreed that you shouldn't do it. And I would challenge you to go find one scientist that, when asked what's the best proof of Earth curve, that wouldn't say that as one of their top 5 proofs. I challenge you.
Doesn't really matter what they have to say about it.
Yeah, it only matters what you say, right?
Their top proof to their top 5.
If you're just going to talk over every time I'm going to speak, I'm just fucking done with you. Why don't you learn to share, Mike?
Well, you just seen he went
talking
from
over each other.
Their top proof to their top 5. So the goalpost moves again.
Well, we're talking over each other, so bear and grin. If you want to quit, go ahead. I mean, you've talked over me some.
He's completely taken what Percent has said twisted around to allow percent to escape, taking over the argument himself so that he can argue for unknown effects that he won't qualify, that he won't quantify, that he has no fucking evidence for, and just say it must be, and he's going to base it off his own fucking interpretation of religion.
Speaking of twisting words,
that's how shitty of a person Rakia is.
Yeah, speaking of demeaning the person and twisting their words so the audience thinks they're no good, right? Good tactic. Yeah, we're
Rakia, you're doing that yourself, man.
Yeah, no, man, I'm not. Actually, I'm talking about the horizon. Yeah, I'm talking about how the horizon. I'm talking about the subject. I haven't said one word about how dumb,
No, it's how you say it, Rakia.
I'm talking about how the horizon can be affected, right, over the horizontal.
It's your tone of voice.
By the atmosphere. He's even agreed with me.
Rakia, it's your tone of voice.
Yeah, whatever. And if you want to talk about feelings, we can. We can do that on another. You want to go one-on-one about feelings?
Why do you always have to sound like an asshole, Rakia?
Yeah, why do you have to always call people
Why can't you be
assholes?
calm and collected?
I could be, right? I could be.
Yeah, but you always have an attitude.
I do.
That's the problem.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. With people who always call me a liar.
Oh, you want to accept the truth?
Hey, chill out, dude. Let me be me. You do you.
Get muted.
I'm not you,
exactly
right?
Oh, yeah, so you don't want to be respected? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you sound so respectful when you're calling me an asshole.
Hey, I'm the one acting like one.
Right, bro. Hey, justify it how you want. Can we move on from your feelings, please? You want to talk about how the horizon appears above the horizonal?
Are you triggered by the truth?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Who cares?
He's trying to talk over you. He's very triggered.
Yeah, I'm triggered. This dude wants to talk about feelings. I don't want to waste my time
have a back and
what
forth
he thinks I
normal
am.
adult conversation, Rakia. It's very hard.
Okay, so let's talk about the horizon.
Any level. That's why you get muted every single fucking day, and then you cry about it.
Anyway, a lot of people get muted. Yeah, they don't like what I said.
Who more than normal? Would it be you, Demok, and SE that get muted every fucking day for the same thing every day? It's almost like you could learn from your mistakes and learn to interact with other humans in a normal way, and then you wouldn't get muted every day.
I can hold a conversation for hours with normal humans, but when they start calling me dumbasses and liars, it's going to change the conversation, correct?
No, you were talking right over him.
Maybe it's y'all.
When you were talking about refraction, he wasn't calling you anything, and you were just talking right over him and not interacting like a normal human.
Do y'all want to get back to the subject or not?
You actually have to be halfway knowledgeable or willing to learn on the subject instead of spouting shit
Learn what?
As fact, which is evidently untrue.
Learn what? Learn what you think you know about refraction? Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Refraction.
No, let's hear it. Go ahead. Tell us how you think boats go over a curve and that's not an optical illusion. Go ahead. Silence. What about this subject?
Why would it
tell me?
Why would he interact with you?
Why didn't he answer?
Sorry, I lost connection for a minute. Let's learn what?
You tell us, right? I want to learn from you. I'm going to go on mute, and you're going to tell me.
Hold on.
Look,
first off, I didn't say that
he interrupted me.
Yes, I did. And pointing out that you are spouting off shit that you think is true, but is evidently untrue.
So you think you have the right to stop
Fine. So we're going to give you the opportunity to teach me. Go ahead.
White Knight.
Teach me how boats go over a curve.
I don't want to teach you.
You don't want to.
I don't need to teach you.
Then go on mute, sir.
I don't have to.
Oh my
I don't fucking have to. I don't have to point out.
Y'all get on to me about being unreasonable and not being sensible, and y'all let this guy do this.
I am being reasonable. I'm pointing out.
Does anybody want to talk about the subject?
Very hypocritical and ironic, and you're sitting there beating your chest.
Who cares? Does anybody want to talk about the subject?
Who cares? Who cares about your subject?
Hey, what's your favorite color? Let's discuss your color. What's your favorite?
Who cares about your subject? Next.
Shut up, man. Hey, man, you're gonna tell me to act a certain way and let that guy do that? When I specifically asked him, let's get back on subject.
I've never met an adult who cries more than you cry.
He can teach me, and he says, "No, I don't want to do that. I want to ramble on about your feelings."
I've never met an adult male who cries as much as you do. You claim to be a man, but you cry all fucking day, dude.
I was pointing out irony. It's not crying.
Hey, of all the schmucks, you Black Death.
So you want to talk about the subject now?
About manners?
Cry more, Dave. Come on.
Of all
you're crying about him crying.
Death. Wow.
I'm
You're
not
crying about him crying, and I'm crying about you crying about him crying.
No. I'm pointing
Yeah,
out that
cry,
he
baby.
That's all
claims to
y'all
be an
wanna
adult
do.
male, yet he cries all day
No,
long.
that's all y'all want to do. I even said, let's talk about the subject. Like
Who cares
10
about
times.
your subject?
No one wants to
Next.
do that. Now y'all want to cry and then
Who
blame
cares
me for
about
crying.
your subject? Next.
You are
Let's
crying.
talk about the subject matter.
No, who
matter?
cares? Next.
Is it mass?
I'm going to be a Rakia. Who
Does mass
cares?
exist?
Next. Who cares?
Is
I
mass
didn't
just
say that. That
convection?
other guy
Convention?
said that.
So
You
I don't
did?
care. Next.
This guy. Look, this is what y'all want to do, right? This is y'all being
Actually,
man
more
and not
entertaining
crying.
than any flat Earth bullshit. So yes,
I want to
this is
ask
what I
you, dumb
wanna
globers, why do you guys say mass attracting mass when mass is a convention? Why don't you say matter attracting matter, which would be
do. Who
correct?
cares? Next.
Yeah,
Why
who
don't
cares?
You guys dumb?
Who cares?
Who cares? Next.
You know why they say
Oh,
that?
I
Because they
like
know
this
what
new
will come
tactic because
next.
then we can just move on
That's why
to
they say
better
that.
things.
That's y'all's tactic.
It's
We
like they
never
don't know
said
what a
who cares.
convention is.
Not one
Who
of
cares?
us said
Next.
who cares. Listen
So
to this
I
guy.
want to ask you, dumb flat
It's
earthers,
like saying
can you have...
tractor attracting tractor.
Sorry,
Hey,
Essie, I
let's
was
cry.
actually
yeah,
talking.
ever see one of your tractors
But
attracting
you said
another
dumb
one of
flat
your
earthers.
tractors?
No one cares what you're saying.
Let's cry.
Sorry,
Next.
Essie, did my sentence interrupt yours?
Oh,
Shut
who's
up.
crying
I want to
now?
ask you...
Hey, are you crying? Are you crying, sir?
Oh, I'm asking a question. So
Oh, you
I'm
weren't
asking
crying
a
when you
question.
said someone interrupted you?
Rocky,
Is
do you
this how
always
y'all
have to
want
be
to
an
do
asshole?
it? Is this how y'all want to do it? Or do
So
y'all?
let me ask you, dumb
It
flat
is so
earthers.
easy
Can I
and
ask
it's so
you, dumb
funny to
flat earthers,
trigger
a question?
Rekia.
I'm not triggered, sir. I'm very calm.
Oh,
and
you
cool
are.
and collected. I'm just pointing out how double standard, like how biased and double standard, double speaking you are.
Oh, look in the mirror, homeboy.
Yeah, we're all biased. I agree. Does anybody want to talk about the subject
No,
instead of
next.
me?
No,
Don't care. Next.
Let's get it all
Hey,
out.
let's
I'm
talk
the
about
idiot. I'm
Rakia's
double
boat.
standard. I'm
We don't
biased. I'm
care.
the idiot.
Boat
We all
is,
know
huh?
that. Does anybody want to talk about the subject?
Next.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to talk about my car?
Sure.
No.
Let's talk about your car. What kind of car you got?
How does it
SE?
work on a globe?
How does a car work on a globe? Well, interesting.
Let me explain you how cars work. You put 4 wheels under it, so it can actually move. Because how would a car move without a wheel? And then you put engine into it, and then you put some gas into it, and then you put a human into it, and then you have the human put the drive, push the gas pedal, and then the human actually controls the car so that it doesn't crash into a fucking tree. That's how a car works. That's how it works on a globe.
This
How
they
does
wanna
it
talk about.
how does it work on a flat?
Would you
This they
would
wanna
you
talk
say
about.
that a car is just a big skateboard?
Now
Essie,
we're
was
talking.
it-
Let's
was it
talk
the-
Lake Pontchartrain.
Yeah. Okay, so you
Well-
don't want to talk about this question. Okay then. Admit it. Cars don't work on a fucking flat Earth, as he cannot
Nothing you
discuss how
said wouldn't work
they
on a
would
flat
work
Earth.
on a flat Earth.
None of the dumb things
know why
you
it works
said
on a
about
flat
how
Earth?
you think cars work wouldn't work on a flat Earth.
You know why
That's
it works on a
moronic.
flat Earth? Because it's a flat Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's a nice story.
Yeah.
It's a nice story if you want to believe in fantasies in La La Land.
Island.
Sorry?
Long Island.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Cars wouldn't work on the flat Earth because the flat Earth doesn't exist. It's just a figment of some people's imagination. A very small percentage of the
That's
population.
projection. That's projection.
No, it's not.
Sure it is.
Define projection. Rakia, define projection.
Difference, right?
I mean, you use the word, so you must know what it means.
Yeah,
Define
That's
projection,
what you want
please.
to do. So you use the word word. You want to define word?
Well, we all know what word means, but I'm trying to
We do.
figure out
We
if
all
you
know
know
what
what
projection
projection means.
You mean
Yeah.
you mean we don't know what projection means? You mean that?
Well, no,
I'm
it's,
asking you.
actually,
You see how I can play the
in the
same games
in
you
the
play?
context, hey,
It's moronic.
Rakia, in the context in which you're attempting to use the word projection, no, it doesn't make sense. So yeah, clarification
What does
of
context
what you
mean?
think projection means would be very
Wait,
helpful.
you use projection. What does projection mean?
Why can't you
want to
answer the
talk about
question,
the
Rakia?
convexity of Earth? You want to talk about how you haven't ever shown, no one has, dropped from horizontal over a horizontal
You still
plane?
haven't answered what projection is.
That's what
and
you
how
want
you
to talk
use
about
it
with
in a
actual
projection?
sentence.
conversation. They're scared of the
Seriously?
subject matter.
No,
What is
we're not
projection?
scared. It's
Just-
boring.
All right. If you guys want
Flat
to talk
Earth
about
is boring
cars,
as fuck. So,
But
We're just
talk
trying to
about
keep
what
entertained.
projection means is not boring,
So-
right?
if you want to
because
talk
you
about
used
cars,
it wrong.
Well,
That's why.
You're the
Cars, this
one
is
that
really
said
getting right
I'm
to the point.
projecting when I didn't project anything onto anyone.
Okay, so
I
go
simply
back,
stated
erase that, right?
that flat
Erase
Earth
that
doesn't
in
exist.
time. You win. Hey, you win, buddy. I'm
So-
stupid.
All right,
Now
if you
show
want
me
All
drop
right,
a
we get
I
it.
know I
over
win.
1
I
mile.
win
Show me 8
every
inches.
fucking day.
Yeah,
ever.
I'm stupid. We got
I'll
it.
take the win.
You
You
are
are,
still
sir.
because a Glober every day. You lose.
I'll take the
every
win.
day.
I would agree. You are stupid.
Yeah, I agree. You're smart. You're right. You're smart, and I'm stupid. Now show
So
me a
I'll accept
horizontal plane and drop from it over 1 mile. Should be 8 inches, right?
So why do cars lose power at higher elevations, Arkia?
Oh boy.
I just want to know why cars lose power at higher elevations.
Just let us know, man, when y'all are ready.
I'm asking a question.
that would be due to the air fuel mixture, and if you don't tune your cars right at higher elevation, they lose horsepower. So like when people take drag cars that in lower elevations, they like Oklahoma, Kentucky, and stuff like that, and they take them up into Colorado, that 4,000 horsepower car starts spitting and sputtering because the air fuel mixture is off. That's why they lose power.
Right. That's why we
I'm
put.
fucking smart, homie.
That's why in the airplane that we're doing now, we're putting dual turbos back to back, because one is compressing the thin air into and compressing it and sending it to the next turbo, and it's compressing it even more. It's amazing, right? It's amazing how we all know about these things. Now, what's your point?
I was just asking. I was just trying to have a conversation.
Yeah, pressure,
he seems
airflow,
aggressive.
air density. Yeah, it all matters.
Seems very
And your
aggressive.
point is, what does that have to do with showing a horizontal plane over, let's say, I don't know, water, and showing the drop from it? Which should be
It had to
about
do with air
8
pressure. Why
inches
is there
per
less
mile.
air pressure higher up?
Okay, so air pressure may affect the water, right? Is that what you're saying?
What?
That's a good one.
What
So
do you mean
don't
by
think air
affect the
pressure
water?
affects
What do you mean by
the water?
that?
Well, if it's affecting the air above the water, it would be affecting the water too, right?
Rocky is trying to figure out how this air pressure thing has to do with drop from horizontal.
Exactly.
But we were talking about cars before.
Yeah, but we already stated that cars can't work on a flat Earth. That was y'all's brilliant statement. So can we move on?
They didn't really say that.
What's the
See, there was a second part to
Did
that,
they really say
Rakia.
that dumb shit? Did they really say that dumb shit?
Well,
yeah, they did. We're still trying to find Earth curve.
No,
here.
see, context matters. Said cars won't work on a flat Earth because the flat Earth doesn't exist. See, that's the entirety of the context. See, context fucking matters.
Yeah, you sound smart, bro. You're really, really teaching us.
So my counter argument to that is cars don't work on a globe Earth because the globe Earth doesn't exist. So who wins that one?
Well, okay, let's go to the evidence.
In order for it to
Drop
work,
from
it must have a
horizontal,
breakdown.
drop from horizontal
none.
over, let's say 1 mile should be 8 inches. You got any of that evidence?
By the way, Jeremy, you made a
plenty.
very
I got plenty of photos from like Hemori 8, Hemori 9,
excuse
all
me.
that shit. Oh wait, there you go.
Drop from horizontal. It's a measurement. It's not a photo. And you only have to do it over 1 mile. I mean, Lord Jesus, man, we can send people
Well, that
to the
would
moon.
show the drop.
Surely we can create a
from
horizontal
tangent.
over 1 mile and show 8 inches of drop, right? Surely. Maybe use some of those same engineers, right?
So
that
it's,
sent
those
man
photos
to the
would show
moon.
that drop all the way over like one side of the.
The excuse
Earth.
earlier was that it's not in the will of man to do that. That's why we haven't done it.
I never
that was
said
the
that.
excuse earlier.
Well, I
What's
don't
your
know who
excuse?
said that. I don't give a fuck who said that.
Right,
But I'm
but I'm
talking
just
to you.
telling
And
you,
again,
I agree.
that
You should-
that photo from Hemori 8 and 9 and others like the
What's
Apollo
your
mission, all that shit,
excuse?
shows that drop from tangent.
Shows.
Yeah.
So so not measures. Gotcha. So what I'm going to ask again.
I don't give a fuck
right?
if it needs to be measured.
Yeah, I
it
understand you don't
shows you
care.
a drop
You think
from
you know it
tangent.
all, right?
If you
You're the
go to
all-knower.
this point and you go over, there's a drop.
You
It
know
shows that
everything,
sphericity.
right? You have everything figured out except how to show 8 inches drop over 1 mile over a horizontal plane. That's the only thing you can't show. Everything else you know, right?
David Copperfield showed us the Statue of Liberty disappearing. Does that mean that really happened, or?
So where's your measurement of no drop?
Why would I need that?
Because you're saying there's no drop.
No, the claim is that there is a drop. That's the claim, right? 8 inches per mile. So you want to turn it back on someone else that's not making a claim?
You're kind of making a claim.
Kind of, yeah. So that bombs you. You are definitely making a claim. It's a sphere, right? That curves 8 inches per mile. So
yep,
let's see.
And my evidence is every Himawari image
and you have
ever.
tons of evidence. I heard it. I've seen it, right? But what I want to see is that measurement drop from horizontal.
Well, I mean, you could always
ahead.
go with
Should be everywhere.
engineering of
It
bridges.
should be actually in every
do
textbook,
go over a mile.
every YouTube channel.
Right.
Everybody should have this plaque above their fireplace of this curvature water. Haven't seen
Right,
it.
right, kid. I mean, you could take people's word for it that have built bridges over a mile, right? I mean, because they would have to include that in their measurements, right?
By how much
yeah,
do you?
Because that's what we want to do. We want to trust mankind.
How much do you think the arc length would be off? How much do you think the arc length would? How much do you think the arc length would be off from a cord in that building of your bridge thing?
Yeah, y'all are telling us that it's like 1/8 of an inch over 10 miles, and you're going to tell me a man building a bridge is going to do that over a mile? Come on, man.
Oh, that's noticeable. Come on,
You can't even measure it.
So what
You
you're
can't
saying is
even
that these
accurately measure that.
bridges that were designed for this, that all of those measurements are wrong.
Yeah, but
Is that what
as
you're
you're
saying?
building it mile to mile, you can't measure the difference, right?
What's
Isn't that
the
what you
difference
tell
in
me?
length between the
As
bridge?
you're building
and
it,
and
as you're building
what's the
it,
difference?
you would want to go off of the measurements
What's
that
the
you
di-
have, right? So somebody
you
probably
can't
went
have
out there
it
to
both ways.
survey that, and it actually had to make those measurements, right?
You think a person building a bridge over 10 miles is going to take 1/8 of an inch difference into account? You're an idiot.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no, he's not.
I can guarantee you they do.
Dipshit.
No, the tolerances of 100 feet are probably less, more or less.
You know, it's funny because when you bring up the Pontchartrain Bridge,
standard.
you forget to add in the fact that they do include the curvature of the Earth when they were building it.
No, they don't. You can't ever.
No, they don't? Oh, okay. I would like to see that evidence,
miles.
please.
Oh, go 90 miles.
So you're asking me for evidence to disprove your claim? That's moronic.
I didn't make the claim. You made a claim that they
just
didn't.
said they
made the claim.
I say they did.
Claim.
Because when they build a bridge, they have to take that into account when they're building a bridge, right?
Except they don't.
Except that they never do.
Oh, okay.
And
No,
why
you
You
would
guys
they?
keep saying they don't. I would
If
like
the
to see that
measurement
evidence,
is so
please.
Shifting of the burden of proof fallacy. You're the one that
Please
said
bring
they
up
do
that
take it into
evidence.
consideration. You have to
If
provide
the
the proof.
measurement is so small, why would they need to?
Anytime you want to bring it up, I will go with you. You know, we can
think you
both
have a
look at the
gotcha.
plans
You're making
together.
yourself look
I
dumb.
have no problems with looking at plans. I look at plans all day.
Bro, you just said they
So,
take it into account.
The difference between
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
bridge length. Hello, the difference between the bridge length over 10 miles. You're talking about Pontchartrain. You got to go 90 miles.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to go 90 miles just to have a meter difference in length. How would they?
Yeah, you're right.
How do they factor
You know how
You
much?
can't
You
even
know
measure
what the
that with the
difference is
tools
on
we
one
have.
side from the other?
90 miles.
On Pontchartrain, 2
90
inches.
miles you got to go to have a.
So do you
1
think
meter
they measured
difference in
that?
length.
I bet you they measured that, didn't they?
You have to
Well,
go 90 miles. To
Substantiate
have a
it, bro.
difference
Did
in
you
a-
know that? Did you
Substantiate
look that
it.
up while you were
Show us
looking
the
up
plans of how they
Pontchartrain Bridge
allowed
there,
for 2
Rakia?
inches.
Did
Show
you
us
look
the plans, bro.
Did you look up the difference between one side and the other?
It's
Show us
perfectly
the
level.
plans, bro. Show us how they took it into
I
account
will
when constructing it.
shortly. If you want to look it up, you're more than welcome
No,
to.
you made the
But
claim.
I'm telling
The
you
burden
right
of
now,
proof is on you. We're not gonna go
until you
wild
show
goose
me,
chase.
until you show me something where they do not include the curvature of the Earth in with those
Everything.
bridges, you're full of shit.
Everything. They don't include curvature of the earth.
Elevation above sea level, my man. Sorry to tell you.
Fucking stupid.
It's a slope.
bro.
That's not what it says, is it? Is it?
Oh, really?
Until
Says
you
where?
Is it?
You haven't provided anything.
Until you show me
Yeah, I
the
haven't
clause
provided
doesn't
anything
exist.
because
Until
I
you show
am
me-
going
you
off of
just
what
stated
they,
it's not what it says where
they,
in the
I
place
am
that
as in the
dishonest.
people that
provided.
built this bridge, the people that built this bridge.
Yeah, I'm not going to show anything because
you
I am just taking what
told
the
me that you
word
talked
is
to
of the people that built the
You
bridge,
told
and I'm
me-
just taking it on
You
faith,
told me,
and I
hold
have
on,
no
hold on.
evidence.
You said that you talked to these people. You said you looked up this stuff. So when I looked it up, I saw something different than what you're saying.
This guy
So
said
are
until
you
let's
calling
see
me
it.
a
Who'd
liar
you
or are you
talk to?
calling them a liar? Which one is it?
Maybe we talked to two separate people, right? What engineering firm in New Orleans did you talk to?
I didn't look up. I didn't go.
That's what I thought.
This guy
What'd you
said
look
until
at?
you This
they
guy
put
told,
down
this guy
for.
said, this guy
Hold
said,
on.
This guy
I
said,
looked
no,
at what they did for the plans. That's exactly what I said in the beginning, wasn't it? You can look it up too. Why don't you go into the New Orleans? Why don't you go in there and look in the city planning, and you can look up the plans too.
This guy said until you show me Santa Claus doesn't exist, he exists, basically.
Dude,
yeah, why not? Why not?
Man.
Yeah.
Santa Claus does
Jeremy,
exist.
you're a little low, bro.
Santa does exist. What's your plan? What's your problem?
I don't know why he keeps bringing up Santa.
Santa exists.
Yeah, Santa exists. What's the issue? Prove me wrong.
Awesome. You're so smart.
All right, whatever. It sounds to me like you guys are making these claims about how they're building bridges, but now one of you will look at the plans.
The length and the difference of the bridge over 96 miles is only a meter. How do they even? They won't even factor
How
that
much
shit
is a
in.
meter? How much is a meter?
They would have more than that factored in for waste.
I told you exactly how much it was. Do you remember that number?
There's a 1 meter difference.
Yeah,
over
you said 2
96
inches.
miles between
That's
the
not
city
length.
line
You're
and
right.
the
That's
curvature
elevated.
2
of Earth.
inches.
1 meter.
You know why?
That's not length. That's
Do you
not
know
length.
why? Do you know why? It's not a measurement. It's not a measurement of the 2 inches from the ground level. It's a 2-inch difference on the sides of the bridge.
You're way out of your league here, man. You're talking about the bridge is 2 inches longer because of the earth curve? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, the bridge is 2 inches longer.
Yeah. Okay. Good one, bro.
So,
Okay,
man, I
go
appreciate
ahead.
you. I appreciate you.
I'd like to see your measurement. Hold on. I'd like to see your measurement, straight line, from point A to point B.
So you're on experts on this channel to monkey, bro.
You don't have any evidence to back you up? You're just going
You're
to
the one that made the claim. You're saying they took it into account, and because of that, they sure did. Found that there's going to be a 2-inch difference, which they accounted for somehow, or they didn't account for, and now you can observe it. I don't even know what you're saying, to be honest, but you have no evidence to support your claims.
Oh, I don't? Okay. That's fine.
2 inches from where
if
to
you don't
where?
want to look it up,
What
that's
point to
fine.
what point?
Look, I don't care if you don't believe
From
me.
what point to what point is the 2 inches more long, sir?
I have no idea. Look,
yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to go in. I'm not going to
go
into
10 foot longer. 10 foot longer from where? From one shore to the other?
What's that?
Maybe normally when we're because
normally
the
when
North
we're
Shore,
building something,
the North Shore is going to be higher above sea level than the South Shore, correct?
Rocky,
yeah,
normally when people are building,
24 inches higher,
normally when
isn't it?
people are building things, they take into account for waste and things. So you wouldn't even factor this 2 inches in. You'd have more accounted in waste than that 2 inches.
Yeah. When was the last time you built a bridge?
So, Rock, to be honest, man, you're usually on point and you're pretty honest when you communicate. So I feel like you maybe just misspoke, made an errant claim, and your pride is getting in the way of you just taking it back or conceding it. But until you provide evidence, it's rejected. I'm sorry to say, man.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Maybe you should look up bridge building and also the curvature of the Earth. You know what? There's a suspension bridge that is in Japan that was built to the curvature of the Earth. You want to see that one too?
I linked an article indicating the Verrazano Narrow Bridge specifically. The article specifically says, due to the curvature of the Earth, the tops of the towers are separated by 1.5 inches.
That's a claim with no measurement.
What the fuck is 1.5 inches is a measurement, you idiot.
No, but it's just a reassertion of the claim.
That's just a reassertion.
That's not a reassertion. You know why it's a suspension bridge? You know what that means?
Measure that. You know why? Because those suspension parts would be moving back and forth. No, you can't.
You can still measure it. It's still going to.
So what you going to do? What you going to do?
Moving back side to side, is that going to change the height of it?
The known radius?
Moving side to side, does that change the height of it?
You don't even understand, right? It's
moving side to side, does that change the height of it?
They're not talking about height. They're talking about distance apart, the top and the bottom, sir.
Yes.
Due to the curvature of the Earth.
The height. The height. Did you hear what he said?
They're not talking about the height.
Maybe you should listen to what he said again.
Yeah, but that's not what they're talking about. They're not talking about the height of the pillars.
Are you sure?
They're talking about the distance between the bottom and the top of the pillars being 1.5 inches difference. They had
the height.
Oh, the distance between the top of the two towers is 1.5 inches further than the distance between the bottom of the two towers.
Right, so not height.
Because it's a suspension bridge.
Right, so nothing to do with height then.
Yeah, they have to build it that tall. They have to build it that tall. Hold on. They have to build it that tall in order for it to be a suspension bridge.
One is
but you
not
can't measure
an inch
that
and a half
distance,
taller,
right?
you moron. They're saying it's an inch
But
and a
you
half
can't
further
measure that
apart
distance,
at the
right?
top. This guy doesn't even know the argument.
You're gonna keep saying that you can't measure the distance, right?
You can't measure the difference between the top and the bottom because the top is going to be swaying back and forth. So how are you going to measure
You don't know how that
accurately?
suspension bridge works, do you?
Yes, I know exactly how a suspension bridge works. I'm fixing to drive over one in about 2 hours.
Okay, how's that work?
They suspend the load from pillars using huge
out
wires.
to where? Yeah, out to where?
Yeah, and those pillars
Which
have
part?
nothing to do with the height.
Yes, they do.
What are you talking about, man? The inch and a half
So the
has nothing to
suspension
do
bridge,
with the height.
the reason
Bro,
why
I'm trying
the
to help
reason
you.
why they have to have it higher in the center is because the load is not on the center. The load is on the sides of that bridge.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, okay. So you know. So those pillars have to stay in a specific area. And do you know why? Because the ends of the bridge aren't connected. It's suspended.
Talking about, man? Yeah, they're suspended by cables. Everyone knows this. We're talking about the height. The distance in between the two pillars are different, right?
So
That's
you're
your
saying
argument.
you can't
You're
go
arguing
measure
that
those
they're
two
taller.
pillars
You're not even
that are
arguing what
taller
the paper says.
because you think that they're going to be swaying.
They're definitely swaying, 100%.
They're swaying. Okay.
Yes, 100%
Okay, go tell me how much they're swaying. Go tell me how much they're swaying, and
It
then
would
tell
be
me why
different
they're
depending on the
going
day,
to
you
sway
momo.
together. Why are they going to sway together?
What are you talking about? They're going to be swaying at opposite ways due to the wind
No,
and the
they
load.
aren't.
Oh, yes, I guarantee
No,
they
they
are.
aren't.
Show me one pillar
Dude,
that tall that's not swaying.
How are you going to have this tower? Okay, you're going to have two towers with a suspension bridge, and you're telling me they're going to sway away from each other, which would tear apart that bridge in the
No,
center
it
of
wouldn't. No, things
Yes.
can sway. Yes. Yeah, things
You're
can
not.
sway
You
without
don't
tearing
even know
themselves apart.
what you're talking about at this
Yeah,
point.
you don't think they're swaying?
They are swaying together. They are swaying together because they're set together. All right.
So you
when
think
they're
they're
set
swaying
together,
an inch
they're
and a
going to
half
be in the
apart from
same.
each other back
Hold
and
on,
forth?
hold on. They're going to be in the same
Okay, I'm
frame
done
of
with this
reference
guy.
at that point. So the suspension bridge on the way out can sway and flex. The towers on the inside take that load off of the lines that are leading off of that suspension bridge, right?
Still waiting to hear how they took those few inches.
Saying
into
they're
account when they were
swaying in
building,
perfect unison
all right.
now. This guy's
Yeah, why
beautiful,
wouldn't they
man.
be?
Perfect unison, right?
Why not?
That's your argument? They're always
why
an inch
not?
and a half apart due to Earth curve, and they're swaying back and forth. You can always measure that inch and a half perfectly, no matter how much they're swaying. You're a moron.
I never said you could measure it perfectly, did I? But you can
said
measure
they're
that
in unison.
difference, could you?
You said they're in unison. They're always going to be the same amount apart.
Did I say perfectly? No,
that
I
was
didn't
your
say
argument.
perfectly, did I? Hold on.
I even
you
made
put
you
words
say
in
it
my
like
mouth, which is
5 times
perfectly.
because that's how ridiculous it
Did
was.
you say perfectly? Right? Did you
Yes,
say perfectly?
in unison. In unison.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you
anything.
said.
Unison does not mean perfectly, you moron.
Okay, I'm done with this guy.
Yeah.
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 'Cause you're
yeah,
done.
bro.
You're done because you don't know what perfectly means.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, can I ask you, stupid Flurs, a question?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that bait didn't get any bites. Sad.
Be careful, they might bitch about their question.
That was my whole point.
Or they might cry. Either one.
The question of how does a sunset work on the beach? For a 6-foot observer, the horizon is only 3 miles away.
I like how they claiming victory when there's not one. Shout out to Flat Earthers.
Thanks, Jose.
Shout out to Jose.
We love you, Jose JG.
Just to clarify, I normally don't like to ask pointed questions like, oh, I have a question to the dumb flat earthers. It's just that percentage asked the same kind of way earlier. Oh, I have a question to the dumb globers here. So I was kind of baiting to see if anyone attacks me for using the word dumb so that I could point out that, oh, percentage said that, so you have a double standard, but no one took the bait.
Oh, can't say it right.
That's a good point.
Oh, can't
You got
count
your
it.
percent. You got your percentage.
I didn't even hear what you said. I lost it right when he said my name wrong. Pocunt.
Can't, sorry.
Yeah, Pocantage, yeah.
Once again, Laurie shows his superior intellect. Everybody sit down.
Yeah,
Well,
you got them.
Yep.
You got us, Laurie.
There you
Nice
go.
work.
I would actually claim that I have a superior intellect to you.
I guarantee you don't, bro.
Well, we can put that
Guarantee
to
it.
the test.
I guarantee it.
Let's try a logical debate. That might be one way to test it out.
We should start
Last
with this
time we tried,
spelling bee.
Rakia got angry, SE got angry. Everyone got angry.
We didn't get angry. We laugh at you because you're irrelevant.
Oh,
And
Rocky
that's-
always gets angry.
Yeah. So that's first one down. Because in a logical debate, you don't go for the personal insults. Unless you have a losing hand. So we already can count SE out. SE had a losing hand right out of the gate. He got angry.
It wasn't an...
So anyone else? You wanna start calling me names and stupid before we even start?
Yeah, you're stupid.
Yeah, that you can add that too if you like. Yeah.
I'm going to actually give that one to you in the because that was kind of humorous.
I wasn't
So-
joking though.
Hey, Jeremy, don't you have lines you need to practice on the paper with crayons?
What'd you say?
Don't you have to practice drawing your lines on a piece of paper with crayons?
Do I got to practice drawing a line on a piece of paper?
Yeah, with crayons.
No, I don't think so.
So you're not gonna practice for your line experiment?
The thing we're doing is first of all, it's not an experiment. Second of all, we're not making a straight line. There's no need.
But wasn't that your experiment though?
Oh, before when I realized it was above and beyond humans to draw a straight line for a mile, yeah.
Jesus, how long did you
Back
think
when
you
I was
figured that?
young and naive.
Past 6 months, they've devised about 15 experiments. Nothing yet. Why sit and devise stuff that you're never going to do?
So when did you
what was
figure
that,
out?
Lale? I usually got you tuned out, but what'd you say, Lale?
I said, why sit and devise stuff that you're never actually going to do? It's like 15 experiments so far this year and nothing.
Have any of them been a working concept that would definitively prove if it was a globe or a flat yet?
That's not the point. You came up with 15 different things to prove your point, and you haven't done any of them.
I came up with 14 things, and none of them would definitively prove if it was globe or flat so far. And now we're on one that will.
Was it you or someone else that came up with the ideas?
The point is,
It's mostly me. I'm the idea man.
My point is how many experiments are you going to come up with before you actually do one?
Well, we just need to come up with one that would definitively prove it or not, and we have. So
Yeah, and it will never come to fruition because you said that about every other 14 of them.
the other 14 didn't work, Lale.
But you said we're going to do this, and now that they don't work, you're not going to do it. So what makes me think you're going to do this one?
Why would we do something that doesn't work?
By the way, Jeremy, your success percentage is quite low. You've done 14 and you admitted that 100% of those 14 failed.
Okay. So what?
Doesn't give me personally good confidence about this next one.
How many times do you try something and then just give up forever? 2, 3?
Well, yeah,
what's your ratio
on the other hand,
before you absolutely stop forever?
I actually always succeed, so I
you always succeed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a contrary question. If, for example, you were to buy a car and you found out that the company producing that car made 14 car models before that and 100% of those cars failed, would you buy the next car?
Probably not. No.
There you
the
go.
thing is, I didn't put out a car until I knew it would work. Did I?
That's
so your analogy sucks.
You're not going to do the next.
Hold on, Leo. Let's point out how his analogy is hot garbage first before we move on.
Yeah.
We have working experiments, and you haven't done any of them because you realize that
none of them worked. They weren't working experiments. None of them worked.
Neither
yeah, it kept defending it.
The next 300.
Are you guys fucking thick or what?
Or how many times did we tell you the experiment wasn't going to work? Yet you still dragged on with that experiment.
I didn't drag on. I brainstormed about it a little bit more. Came to the realization.
No, you kept talking about it. You had that one experiment for like a year. And we kept telling you it's not going to work. Yet you kept talking about it.
Well, Veach, there was people on my side that think it would work. That think humans do have the capability to draw a straight line. Some of the Globers were on board with this, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I have no problem with being able to draw a straight line. It's just drawing a straight line for as long as you want to do it is not possible.
Well, some Globers still think it is possible.
So what are you going to do with all the deviations? What is your plan for that?
We're not doing the straight line thing anymore. It's too complicated.
What is the next
complicated?
So
why is it complicated?
Plan B.
What?
What's up?
Where did you realize that it's going to be complicated?
Well, if you're not doing that, I'm just asking what is Plan B? You're the idea guy. You gotta have something.
Yeah. Well, actually, somebody else came up with an idea for Plan B.
Exactly. Jeremy has an idea guy.
Are you violating copyright or trademark here or anything like that?
No, I've stated from the beginning this wasn't my idea, and someone else came up with it.
I don't know, Jeremy. You're letting us down. You're supposed to be the idea. It's supposed to come from you.
It's like a think tank. You don't sometimes one guy will come up with a lot of stuff, but every once in a while you'll get one of the guys in the think tank that comes up with something good. So this is what the case is.
And no one experiment has been good so far, so why should I trust that this one will be?
Your claim to fame has been, I'm the idea man. And now you can't claim that, though.
Listen, I was 39 when I stepped in. I'm the best now. I was the best then.
So, Alcaz, why did you guys give up on Bad's experiment?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Why did you guys stop doing Bad's experiment?
That was going to do his thing.
Experiment. Years ago, and nothing's happened yet.
Jeremy, do you float like a butterfly and sting like a bee?
Absolutely.
I think we'll have world peace before Bev does this experiment.
I don't. Did Bev give a timeline or something, or?
That's the whole point of me saying I think we'll have world peace before that.
Jeremy, do you whine like a bitch and cry like a diva? Just say yes or sometimes, at least.
Can he not whine like a diva and cry like a bitch?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Just say sometimes I do.
I don't.
You're lying again, bro.
No, I don't think so.
Every answer you give is a lie. Facts.
That's not true, Jose.
So what happened to the concrete experiment where you're going to flip it over on its side?
That was something that didn't work, so it's never going to come to fruition. You have to know if the surface you're flipping it on is flat or curved for it to work.
So if we were to keep score of ideas presented and viability of said ideas, what would be the score count?
Why not?
Okay, hold on. How many ideas did they have of trying to figure out how planes work before they actually
All right,
got it?
Jeremy, easy. I was actually just I'm taking a slight jab at you, but I'm not taking like an asshole
I know.
jab at you. Okay.
I'm just saying. How many plane ideas did they come up with before they got one that worked?
Well, so apparently Wright brothers got it on their second try.
How you look at it?
Yeah, the Wright brothers.
7.
There's a lot of people that came before them.
That's two.
Of the Wright brothers didn't last as long as the
Second,
flights
sorry,
today,
I'm
but
slurring.
they
I
still
haven't
flew.
slept in 36 hours. So fuck, okay.
Shouldn't do that.
Wait till
Is
these
it because
kids.
you have a baby coming?
Wait till these kids pop out.
No, and it's, maybe I had to, she's in the hospital. I took her earlier last night, so she has to stay there until they're born now. So
Citation,
okay.
please.
she's okay.
Is everything
though,
okay?
but-
Or?
Yeah, things are okay. So now she's going to be there, and we just wait. So. But I can't see. But I can't see her until the babies are born. So
The
that's
hospital.
that sucks.
The hospital was the toughest part for me when my son was born because unless a family member comes to like watch the kid, they give you like no help. Like you're on your own, and they're in and out of the room every fucking 20 minutes checking shit. So not only do they give you no help, when you do get a second to relax or try to fall asleep for a minute, they're fucking coming in the room waking you up.
Jeremy, can you explain the shape of the Earth to a 10-year-older?
For the globe model?
The shape of the Earth, whatever you think it is, your reality. Can you explain your reality to a 10-year-older and they will understand you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Would you try that with me? Because my brain is like a 10-year-older to see if I can understand where you're coming from. What is the shape of the Earth, please?
Well, I don't have a shape per se. I mean, we know the geometrical property of the surface we're on.
That's two big words. I'm 10.
I know. I'll try to
Remember.
keep it. I try to keep it simple for you. We know the. I don't know how to say it without saying geometrical property.
Just tell him what shape the Earth is.
The part that. What's up, Leo?
Just tell him what shape the Earth is.
I don't have a shape in mind. It could be a lot of different shapes, as long as one side of it's flat.
But I seen. Wait, Leo. This. Give me 2 minutes. I seen on a lot of pictures and videos, and I see rockets, and it shows that the Earth is like a ball. It's round. I mean, can you tell me if that's the reality and why? Why not?
Well, have you ever seen like cartoons and stuff and talking bunny rabbits and ducks?
Yes, and I know those are drawn in, those are drawn in paper and done in computer. Yeah.
Oh, all right. We know a lot of those globe pictures are drawn on paper and cartoony.
I seen a lot. I seen the ones that look real, like I seen videos of rockets and taking pictures of Earth and videos. Is that not it? Is that not? Look, somebody put a picture. That's the way I picture the Earth to be.
Yeah.
Is there another way that the Earth
I would
is?
tell the little 10-year-old to not believe every picture he sees. For starters.
I don't. Oh, I don't. Believe
All
me.
right.
I'm a very smart 10-year-old.
Car, he shouldn't believe the picture.
You know what I would
Say,
tell
Leo?
the 10-year-old?
Well, I want Jeremy to answer my question.
You're a fucking clown.
10-year-old saw a picture of your car, and you showed him your car. You would say the picture's not real.
No, I wouldn't say that. I would tell him, here's a picture of my car, but every picture you see throughout your whole life isn't going to be a real picture.
Then you
Something
show
that
him
exists in
picture.
reality.
But
After
dude,
that, I'm gonna
hey,
after he sees the picture
Jeremy.
of my car, what's up?
I might be 10, but I'm not a retard 10-year-old. I know about life a little bit. You know, I know about video games. I know what is real, what is not. I seen pictures and they say like, look, I took this picture. I say, wait, that's Bugs Bunny in the picture, but he looks real. It might be a dude in a costume. I know what is could be real, what could be not. Why are you telling me these videos of that I seen of Earth are not real? They look real to me.
Yeah, so you're saying why would they lie is your question essentially.
No. That I just ask you if what is the shape of the Earth if I hear people telling me that it's not a ball.
But I explained to you this when we first started. I don't know the shape. It could be anything other than a sphere. Literally any other shape other than a sphere or an obloid or any. It has to have a flat surface on it, obviously. Could be a cylinder.
So for right now, yeah. Okay, for right now, there's something that is real, that is a ball. Like as I seen in the pictures and videos, and it looks real. Nothing tells me it's fake. Until you can present me something that looks more real than the globe, I guess the Earth is a globe. Thank you for playing anyway.
Why would you trust those pictures, Jose? Because
Can I play after?
The same source that gives you those pictures that you say are real of a ball Earth gave you the pictures of man walking on moon, and you don't believe those. Same source.
I'm a 10-year-old, bro. I'm a 10-year-old, bro.
So you're a grown man. So if a grown man can decipher, okay, a 10-year-old says, okay, that source gave me the moon landing, right? And I don't believe that, but I'm going to believe the same source because they're showing me pictures of round Earth.
Rocky, I don't know what you mean by source. That's too advanced. That word's too advanced for me. I just like to keep it simple. I just seen about the Earth. I don't know about the moon and other stuff. I see the moon through a telescope and it looks real to me. That's all I can say about the moon. But I'm talking about the shape of the Earth.
I know.
If you can tell me what it is besides it's a globe, I guess we got a point there. You know.
Let me finish him. If you're a 10-year-old that deciphered that man can't walk on the moon, and those people were lying to you about that, and then the same people who lied to you about that because you deciphered that show you another picture of a round Earth, why do you believe that? You don't.
I don't care about that. You already asked your question. You say your point. You asked me a quick point. I'm gonna ask you quickly. I don't care about the moon or men walking on other places. I'm talking about the pictures and videos of Earth that I've seen. Because if nobody present me anything else, that's the Earth that we all know.
So if I show you a picture of a unicorn and no one
hold on, Jeremy, hold on, let me try.
No, all right. Yeah, but hang on, let me
if you're not
finish
finished, go ahead, Rick. Yeah.
So for 10 years of your life, you deciphered because of what people told you and showed you in pictures that the Earth is a globe, and also deciphered that those same people that taught you that were lying about the man, someone like your dad walking on the moon. You're obviously smart enough, right?
I'm smart enough to know that the bunch of videos and pictures that I seen, because that's what I want to see. What is the shape of the Earth? That's what people is arguing about, and I want to see that. I don't want to know about anybody's lying or not, or anybody's doing things or not. I'm talking about something like this, galleries of pictures of Earth and videos.
But you're smart enough to know that same source that lied to you on the other thing would probably lie to you again, right?
My brain is too small to figure whatever you're attempting to tell me. I'm talking about the shape of the Earth. If you can show me what it is besides this globe, I guess I'll entertain it. Because for right now, there's nothing.
Okay, so this will sum it up. So you think I'm lying to you about certain pictures that I give you, but I provide you pictures. The source that already lied to you about other things, and that's confirmed in your mind. I provide you pictures of flat Earth. You would believe that?
I gotta see it. I have to see it first. If they look real, if they look legit, if they convince me, then I'll entertain it.
They're gonna look even better than the ones they show us from the globe.
Let me see him. Let me see him. That's what I'm looking for. Gonna approach every single day, attempting to see what is the shape of the Earth. If anybody can present it to me, and then I will entertain it. But for right now, Earth is round. Earth is a ball. Period.
So you're just gonna trust, right? A source that has lied to you before.
I don't know what source means, and I'm not talking about lies. I'm talking about what can you show me that I can see.
No, that's
Thank
the
you.
whole point. You shouldn't allow anybody to show you shit. You should go out and do it yourself and measure it yourself.
No, yeah, I'm looking for it. Look, somebody put something. Is that a flat Earth? That looks fake to me.
No, you're looking for other people to show you and tell you what to think.
Rakia,
No. I'm looking for you to show me if you say that the Earth is not round, like we all know it is.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're looking for someone else to show you
was lying to him about
instead of you doing it yourself. Yeah.
I have heard you saying that the Earth is not a globe, and I want to see how if you can show me something. Look, is that a flat Earth? It look a little curved in the top, but that I still look fake to me. Sorry, man.
Yeah, but why would you want another man to show you, especially a man that's already lied to you?
Dude, because I'm poor. I'm poor and I'm 10. How do you think I'm gonna go to space and take a picture of Earth, bro?
No, you don't have to go to space to measure it. You only need a horizontal line over 1 mile.
No, I want to see the Earth. I want to see how the Earth looks like. If you cannot, you probably cannot go to space, even though you're a grown up, man.
Oh, okay,
I can't.
see
I'm
it.
10.
You just wanna see a photo given to you by known liars that doesn't look fake.
Wait,
That's what you want.
this one look real. Hold on, this one doesn't look like a computer. Somebody put a video.
Right, so that's good enough for you,
like
right?
the devil put a video there. Look, that look
That's
real.
good enough for you. Yeah.
Wait, I
that
see
looks
like a
great.
long cable. I see a cable that look like a small flat Earth. Is that it?
You are a man. Why should he trust you that NASA's lying to him?
You have to stay away from the devil, little Jose, 10-year-old. Be careful of the devil. He is deceptive.
No, answer my question. Why should Jose, a 10-year-old, trust you? You're a man, Rakia. Why? How does he know you're not lying to him?
Don't trust the strangers.
Okay, let me have a go with little 10-year-old Jose.
I want you to answer my question.
Hey,
Why
I've been waiting, Leo. I mean,
Stranger danger.
Why should Jose trust you as
Hey,
a
little
10-year-old?
Jose.
You're telling the truth. You're just a man too. Why should he trust that you're not lying?
Well, I would tell 10-year-old Jose to not trust men because I just lied to him for 10 years about Santa Claus and Easter bunnies and tooth fairies. So obviously, even the people were close.
Also, you admit that you're a liar then.
Where I'm coming from, there was no Santa Claus. They gave us. My parents gave me gifts in Christmas because everybody is like a tradition, but I don't know who Santa Claus is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, little Jose, they tell you that we live on a ball, right?
I mean, it's not what anybody tell me. It's what I learned. It's what we know. It's what I seen on pictures and videos. They are real. They don't look fake. They don't look like movies. I seen movies also where they show like Earth and space, and they look fake. I can maybe know what is real, what is fake, and the Earth is like a ball. Let's say a ball.
No problem, little Jose. You've seen how the globe is, right? You've seen the globe.
Little Jose.
Now,
yes.
We'll have I'll try a little experiment with you. We'll keep it simple because you're 10 years old. I'll give you a globe, right? And then I'll give you a bowl facing up. Then I'll give you another cereal bowl facing down. And I want you to put the water somewhere. Okay, little Jose? Where would you put it?
Why am I going to put water in a toy?
We're just doing a little test. Where would you put the water? Let's say you were in school now and your teacher gave you a little exam, A, B, or C. Where would you put the water?
I'm lazy. I don't want to do none of that. I don't want to open the frog in school. I don't like doing experiments. I like seeing it on videos and pictures. It's what I like. I don't like doing stuff myself.
Okay. Did you ever see a tennis ball spinning with water on it? On a video?
Yes.
That's how they say the Earth is. They say the Earth is a ball like that spinning with water on it. Can you believe that, little Jose?
No, it doesn't matter. I just want to see it.
Yeah, but did you ever see a ball with water on it and it not falling down?
Like what?
Like if I was to take a tennis ball and put water on it, what would happen to that water? Would it stay around the tennis ball? like they say our planet is?
It will get wet. Yeah, it will be wet because he's like he got some like hairs and stuff.
And where would the water go?
Depends how much water I put, because I can put drops, and it will never fall anywhere. It will stay on the tennis ball.
Let's say we put a half a glass of water.
Yeah, that's a lot of water.
Do you think it would stay on the tennis ball?
But I don't know why you're doing this to me. This is so confusing. All I want to see is a picture of Earth if you say it's not a ball, man.
Oh, you want to see a picture of Earth? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, a real one at least that looks real.
So if I show you a picture,
dude, I play a lot of video games. I used to play a lot of video games, and I know what can look real, what can look fake or computer and shit. You know?
So you, Jose, have you ever?
Sorry, Mom, no swearing again.
Jose, have you ever seen a hyper realistic painting?
What is that word? Hyper.
It's a painting that you can't tell if it's a picture or if somebody painted it.
Yeah, like video games that sometimes they look real, but I know they are not.
No, but this hyper realistic painting, you can't differentiate between if it's real or not.
Yeah, can that be done in a video? Because I've seen videos.
Yeah, it can be done in a video. Absolutely.
Show me a video that is not real that looks. Show me a video that is not real, but I mean but it looks real. Show me that, and then I'll entertain your idea.
Have you ever seen a major blockbuster movie from Hollywood?
Just show me a clip or a video or a picture that looks real, but it's not.
Have you ever seen the movie Gravity?
Yes, I have. It looks so fake. It looked like a video game.
Have you ever been in a fast car, little Jose?
I've been in what car?
In a fast car. Have you ever been fast in a car?
Yeah.
Do you know how fast you went? Like maybe 100 miles an hour, something like that?
I don't care. Or I'll be the videos of Earth I've seen. It's like almost not moving. It moves really slow, because if I look carefully, it like moving really slow. That's what I've seen. Right. That's what I want to see. Does the flat Earth moves, and can I see a video of it moving or not?
Well, yeah, little Jose. You know those people that told you about Santa Claus? Those same people tell you that you're moving now at 1.5 million miles an hour. I know it's a big number.
Why are you trying to tell me stories and brainwash me? I don't care about the stories. I don't care about what people say. I care about what I can see.
You have a lot to learn, little Jose. Don't worry, slowly.
Oh, yeah. No, I learned a lot today that the Earth is a ball, because nobody present me anything else besides a ball. Thank you.
That's why the
Earth
is a ball, because
thank you for posting fake flat Earths in the chat.
Because known liars.
Why are you yelling at a 10-year-old, bro? I was not done talking. You're so disrespectful. Right? You're so rude.
You make.
Are you a parent? Don't teach your kids to be that way, man. Teach them to be polite and let people
you do
speak
the same thing, right?
Dude, you interrupted me again. How dare you?
You interrupted me too, so I apologize.
No, I interrupted you in between, because you interrupted me before I finished my sentence. My sentence was, let me finish my sentence. I'm not going to let your interruption to take over, and then you tell I'm interrupting. I'm going to finish my statement. Today and yesterday and every day, Earth is a globe, is a ball, because I seen pictures, I seen videos, real pictures and videos, because I can determine what are real or fake. 2 or 3 people attempted to present me like pictures of a flat Earth and a devil guy with horns. He showed like a real little tiny flat Earth, but I don't know if that's it. Is that it? So I can at least then look for other stuff about flat Earth, because if you cannot show me how flat Earth looks, what it is in a picture or video, a real one, Earth is a ball. Thank you. I gotta go. I'll keep listening.
Little Jose, you don't understand. Those pictures that they showed you, they're not real, little Jose. You're just
and they're from known liars.
You're too young to understand.
People that you have admitted are lying to you about other things, and you take that as evidence. That is sad. He admitted that NASA is lying to him about the moon landings. I'm not putting those words in his mouth. And now he accepts that same source as showing him pictures of a globe, and that's why he believes it. That's sad. I feel sorry for him.
Rakia is saying that NASA's lying to you. How do you know?
No, I'm not telling Jose anything. Jose said that they're lying to him about the moon landings. and now he accepts that same source
Little Jose say
as
that?
proof. Yes, he has. He
Little
doesn't
Jose
believe in the
never
moon
said
landing.
that.
He does not believe in the moon landing, Lel.
Little Jose never said anything about the moon landing.
You want to bet?
Oh yeah, he doesn't believe it, but don't worry.
Doesn't
That's
believe in the
big
moon
Jose.
landing.
But little Jose could come back tomorrow, and we can give him another lesson. No problem. That was fun. I like that.
Yeah, we'll let him complete his 10-year-old sentences.
But why
And tell
should
us-
he trust you guys as telling the truth when you tell
He
him
shouldn't
not to
trust us,
anyone?
Lel. He should
So
not trust
therefore,
us.
he can believe the Earth is a sphere.
He can believe whatever he wants. But to know it, you have to go out and measure it.
What have you done to do that?
What does it have to do with me? We're talking about 10-year-old Jose. We're trying to help Jose, not me. I'm good.
So the Earth is a sphere, then, in your opinion?
No, it's not. Only to people who
how much
haven't
of
measured it.
the surface have you measured?
The only people that it's a sphere, right, is the people who believe the source of NASA, who they all agree has lied to them in one way or another, or the government, who they all agree has lied to them in one way or another. And when they say, "What have you done?"
So what percentage of the Earth's surface have you measured, Ricky?
What percentage would it take? What percentage
I
would
want
one
to know the percentage that you've measured. Go.
would 1 mile do, Lil? You think we could do 1 mile? No. So you think 1 mile of water somewhere on Earth is not showing a curvature of 8 inches per mile? Is that what you believe?
If I drive to Walmart in my car 3 miles.
You know that doesn't work, right, Lil? You know that wouldn't work, right, Lil? All water would have to be curving, right? On your sphere?
If I drive 3.5 miles to the Walmart.
Who cares
that I
about your
work at,
Walmart trip? We're talking about curvature of water. Wouldn't it have
the
to
land
curve?
is- is the land
Every inch of it would have to curve on a sphere, Lil. You're busted, buddy.
Rocky, do you have to talk over him all the time?
Can I finish what I'm stating? The land area that I live on is pretty level. If I drive to Walmart, I'm still driving conforming to the surface of the sphere, but it's still level. And it's 3.5 miles.
Fuck. Really, Lil? Come on.
Jeremy, why do you have to interrupt?
He's okay. My
Hey,
bad.
shut up, Jeremy.
Go continue with your nonsense, Lil, please.
It's not nonsense. The streets have been leveled. They are level. I drive all the way to Walmart, 3.5 miles away, but the leveling of that land conforms to the spherical nature of the Earth.
That's a cool claim.
It's a fact. It's not a claim.
So you've measured the drop from horizontal then, since you think level is curved.
What
Hey,
I
if
said
little
is,
Jose is still around, you know what I would tell him?
said
I would
is
tell
the
him tomorrow's lesson is going to be about CGI, little Jose. And those pictures you think they're not real, little Jose. We'll discuss that tomorrow.
and little Jose, why should you trust Montreal and to believe that they are CGI?
I would tell little Jose to not trust man because men lie.
Therefore,
and you know this.
Therefore, I can assume that all the people who say they're CGI are lying.
I'm
Why
going to
would you
post
jump to that
Jose to
conclusion?
little Jose, the guy that says it for himself. It's CGI, but it has to be. Little Jose would see it
But
for
why should
himself.
you trust
That those
man?
pictures are not real, little
Why should
Jose.
you trust him? How do you know he's
No,
not
no, no,
lying?
no. No, you're passing the ball without addressing the question, Leo.
I'm not anything.
Wait, Lael's not addressing the question?
Well,
Seriously?
yeah, it was Scott. It was said. Rocky has said, why should he trust what he agrees to as known liars?
All
And
right,
Leo
who
gets
in the
all
fuck is Brian Muelling? And you guys are gonna let him get away with this comment that he just typed? Brian Muelling in the chat. Why in the fuck are you letting get away with this? He say, why you talk about 10-year-olds? Are you a pedophile, Jose? Who in the fuck is this guy? And is any mod gonna do anything about it?
fuck
Are you
that-
gonna
fuck
let
that-
him get away
fuck
with
that
that?
bullshit, man.
Yeah, that's bullshit, whoever that is.
Pretty weak.
We're playing around here, dude. Come on.
Time to be banned.
But it sounded like Leo, like you was AFK for a
Is
second.
anybody gonna delete that comment?
Is there a mod here or?
I don't have mod rights.
You should message
Because
send
that
a
is
DM
fucked
to,
up. That is fucked up.
Jose,
That
send
is
a DM
unacceptable,
to,
bro.
Jose, send a DM to Jem. He'll take care of it.
Yeah, the person's projecting. Whoever types that word, they're the one fucking. I mean, let's keep it real, right? So
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah. If I would have seen that, man, I would have got all over that. That's stupid.
Yeah, that's
But
unnecessary, man.
you should be really careful putting yourself as a 10-year-old too, though. I understand your point.
It was a game, but yeah.
Right, but he said
So it's
himself,
okay to you, Rakia. You fucking piece of shit.
No, not at all. I just said it's terrible. And if I would have seen it, I'd have got all over it. If I could delete it right now, I would. That's horrible. So don't try and turn it on me, man. I just said be careful.
The last part.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I just said be
whoever
careful,
said-
man. I'm trying to protect him.
whoever
I'm not
said
trying
that
to turn
it's
it
a
around.
game, there are some games that you don't play. I would never ever make a joke about anyone in this conversation being a pedophile. Not even the biggest enemy that I have in this conversation.
Not like that, you idiot. I said it in defense of Jose, you moron.
Fair enough.
It was a game.
It was
Yeah,
a game.
it was a cute little ex.
And Jose was playing a 10-year-old, and that's all there is to it. And the guy
Yeah,
who made
we're all
that comment is a fucking idiot.
It was
That's
a fun.
Sorry.
It was a fun exercise. How would you explain it to a 10-year-old?
SC Montreal, you have my apologies. I misunderstood what you meant with that comment. I apologize.
Accepted. Now let's move on. No more bullshit.
Are we talking flat Earth?
well, look, I was just gonna listen, but then I heard, the where Rakia said Jose doesn't believe in the moon landing, and it was like, Leo, you couldn't believe it. It was almost as if you kept going. He didn't say it, but it's like you couldn't read the room that they knew what you didn't know. So that was a little surprising.
It's
and
even
then
worse
and then
than
past
that, because Leo knows more than most people here how Jose feels
Yeah.
about the moon landing.
Leo has been on every Jose show that he said that he doesn't believe in the moon landing. He already knows it.
Well, where I was talking about the context of little Jose. I understand that big Jose doesn't believe in it. We're talking about the context of little Jose.
They're the
All right, well,
same
I'm sorry,
people.
Leo.
Himself never said he didn't believe in the moon landing.
You realize that's the same person, right?
That's cute. That's cute. But regardless, Leo, what if the person thinks they're liars, right? Why should they trust them? Now, if you want to argue they shouldn't think they're liars, that's a different subject. But if they think they're liars, why should they trust anything from them?
Right.
So,
why
Leo,
should we trust?
Leo.
Why should we trust anybody on the shape of the Earth that's a flat earther? They could be liars too.
Leo, what you need
Yeah,
to
I get your
understand
point.
here.
I get your
When you're
point.
dealing with Rakia, he is fundamentally incapable of dealing with hypotheticals. And so your suspension of disbelief of the 10-year-old Jose, Rakia can't do that. He's literally incapable of doing that. So you're going to need to find a different way to.
How the hell you know that?
Now, Jose, now
hear
I'm
anything you
I'm
say.
coming back like the real deal. Now, my afterthought after all this. Now, I seen the videos and pictures of Earth from space. Do I have to deny everything because I don't believe in the moon landings? No, dude, they could be going on to kill fucking aliens or to build a barrier over the Earth or to do any kind of other exercise. Maybe the videos and pictures I'm showing is not from a real ISS, but they are real videos and pictures. It doesn't matter what the fuck the context. They are real pictures and bro. If they are lying to me about the mission they're doing, about where they taking, we're taking this as we go back to fly over Jupiter. I don't give a fuck if they're flying over fucking alien colony in the space. But they are
wasn't my
real
point.
pictures and real videos, bro.
My point is, what's better? Okay, Jose, you're a smart man. What's better? To trust pictures from space from known liars, who you agree are known
Or to
liars?
trust Luke
Or to measure yourself the convexity of water. What would be
Pictures and
better?
videos. If the only source is pictures and videos and nobody
It's
else
not
can
the
show me
only
any
source.
other source, I trust the pictures and videos, and I can also do measurements. So
That
maybe
was
the
not my question.
the measurements may not add up, but the pictures and videos are still fucking real, asshole.
That was not my question. I said, what would be better for you to do?
I don't
Hold on,
like
let me-
playing
let me-
this.
he did
Choose
not
A or
answer my
choose B
question.
or else. I don't do it. Choose choice.
So you don't want to
first
answer a simple
choice.
question. You want to avoid the question.
I refuse to answer your silly
You're
question.
scared to answer the question?
I refuse to answer your silly fucking question.
It's not silly. What would be better as a
It's a
grown man
false
to
dichotomy,
trust pictures from a
Rakia.
known liar or to measure curvature of water over 1
What
mile.
do I
top and 8
prefer?
inches.
A pizza or a hamburger?
As you cut
What
me off.
do I
I'm gonna finish-
prefer?
hey, I'm gonna
Broccoli
finish
that
my
I don't
statement.
like,
Hey,
or a
Jose,
salad
I'm gonna
or
finish my statement.
spinach? I
Jose,
don't
you
like
cut me
either
off, you
or.
piece of
I don't
shit.
have to answer
Hey,
you
Jose,
that.
you cut me off. I'm gonna finish my statement. So let me start over like you do. So what would be better? What would be better as a grown man, right?
Oh look, Rocky
Accept
is repeating the exact same thing he already
accept
said.
photos.
Yeah, like
from my,
I
yeah, because
didn't hear
y'all
it
cut me
before.
off. Because y'all
And now
cut me
he's
off.
gonna
I
rant
wasn't done
over
with my
me because I
statement.
cut him up,
I
and he's
wasn't done
gonna
with my
attempt
statement.
to repeat
Hey, I
what he
wasn't done
said
with my
previously.
statement. I'm gonna finish my
Let's see.
statement.
Let's
Hey,
see.
y'all cut me off. I'm gonna finish my statement. Hey, I'm gonna finish my statement. Who do I act like? So, what would be better as a grown man to
You're gonna repeat the question
I'm
again?
gonna,
You
hey, I'm
already
gonna
say it
finish
3
my
times,
statement,
bro.
Jose.
Excuse me.
Jose, don't cut me off, Jose.
Rakia.
Jose.
Rakia, excuse me.
Yeah.
Can we just take it down a notch?
Hey, just
please?
don't worry about it. That's what he did to me
Hey,
earlier, so I'm gonna do the
well,
same thing
listen,
back.
I just got here.
Tell
and
them to
you're-
quit interrupting me. So I'm gonna repeat my statement without interruption, right?
All right. Let's
So
start
what would be better? What would be better? A grown man to accept pictures from space from a known source of liars who he himself agrees is lying to him on other things, including pictures from space, or for that grown man to go physically measure, drop from horizontal over 1 mile being 8 inches? What would be better?
You are nobody to put me in a spot that I have to answer your question, your silly question, your multiple choice A or B. I don't have to answer you shit.
Boom.
Boom? He's avoiding the question. And you say boom? I'll tell you what. I'm gonna turn the question around. I'm gonna turn the question around to myself. I'm gonna turn that question around to myself. Trust a known liar or measure it myself and prove that water is not bending. I'm gonna go with B. Very simple.
Okay, you yesterday told me you don't have to provide anything to me, right?
By the way, I think the question is dishonest because I don't want to speak for Jose and I don't want to draw this out, but I don't think Jose just would accept the statement that they are known liars. As far as I understand Jose's position, he's sort of open on the issue and he's not taking a definitive stance, but he's skeptical. So does Jose really say that he knows that they are known liars? I don't want to maybe draw this question out, but as far as I
support this
understand his
message.
position.
I support that message. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'd be waiting for Rakia to do B myself. When are you going to do that, Rakia?
Come on down. Let's do it.
Then why
No. When
Come
are you
on
going
down.
to do it?
Come
You
on
haven't
down.
done it. You know
Why do
that,
I
right?
have to do it? Do you know that?
Yes, I do.
How you know that?
Because if you did, you wouldn't have got the results you say you got.
How do you know
I
that?
know.
How do you know that? Is that your assumption or have you done it?
No, because it's reality.
What tools did I use? Do you own those tools? So how do you know this?
No, but
So you're
you
just assuming.
You won't even say you've done it. You see how that works?
I've said I've done that a million times. A million. It's how I got doxxed, sir.
So share your results.
Why would again? So y'all can call me liars again and tell me how I'm wrong and dox me again? What a moron. I said, anytime you're ready, come on down. We'll go to the same exact lake. We'll let you and your group do it because I ain't going through the effort again, but I'll show you exactly what we did and where we did it. Some of the stakes are still there.
I'm going to apologize to the entire room because I never heard you say this before. And if they heard you say this 1,000 times, then, sorry, they're going to hit one more time. But what did you do?
We went 2 3/4 miles, and the first mile going about 200 foot, 300 foot at a time, placing grade stakes along the shore of a lake. And then in the second mile, when we double, go ahead, you tell it.
Well, the simplest.
No, go ahead, really, you tell it. You can probably tell it.
Hey,
you can probably tell it more than me.
Let Rakia finish.
Yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead, Rakia.
So in the second mile, after we doubled back and checked the first mile and there was no There was no drop. I mean, it was within a quarter of an inch, half an inch, plus or minus.
No drop.
Wait, how did you?
Hold on, let him finish.
The
Can I
second
ask
mile.
how you checked it, whether there was a drop?
Jesus.
What'd you do?
Can
Y'all don't want to hear it. Go ahead.
I no, seriously, man. You said you checked there's a drop. I'd like to know how you did that. That's all I'm asking.
He said there was no drop, and then he said maybe a quarter of an inch, which is a drop.
It doesn't matter. I want to know how he checked whether there was a drop. What method did he use?
I'm just kind of pointing out his inconsistency.
Okay, does anybody else here who's heard this 1,000 times know what method he used?
I heard it about 10 times, and I still don't know what method he used.
Okay.
Optics. Used optics.
What method with optics?
I've heard him talking about shooting a straight line, and I've heard him with something. And then I've heard him talking about using theodolites as well. I don't know.
Same.
You see, you
But
don't
he
know
did it
what
over
he did.
200 yards at a time, so he leapfrogged it. He didn't do a back azimuth from the 1 mile. He did just a back azimuth to 200.
No, that's not true.
So
we
what
closed
did you
our
do then, man?
we closed our loop in the first mile.
How? What method did you use?
Surveying method, lasers and theodolites.
Okay, so you put an optic thing where you looked through some viewfinder, and you lined up lines from these posts or something.
Created a benchmark 1.5 feet above the water. That's our starting benchmark. We carried that benchmark height for a mile at 200 to 300, sometimes 400 foot in the first mile. Carrying that horizontal line, that benchmark.
How did
for
you
a
make
mile.
sure that each stake was 1.5 feet above the water?
We didn't worry about that. We just created a horizontal.
There you go.
No, you created the level.
But when we went, well, that's what y'all say now.
Yes, because that's
Okay,
what he
and
did.
hey,
That's what
yes.
it's called.
I'm fine with that.
Wow.
So now, okay, smart guys, how can human beings, the people who sent man to the moon, create a horizontal over 1 mile?
Rakia,
Are you saying it's
do
not
you want to
possible?
answer his question?
Well,
Answer
yeah.
his
Let me
question.
address what half the problem of his observation was.
But can you answer his question? Because he just asked a question. If you don't want to answer the question, just say you
He
don't
won't
want to
answer it. He will not
They've
answer it.
never answered
One of the
questions.
easiest
They just
ways
want to
of
go into
what
what I
could've
did
done.
wrong.
Hold
Y'all
on.
just want to critique
I
what
would
I
like
did
to
wrong.
know if any of you want to answer the question, because there is a question on the table and it hasn't been answered.
Go
Okay.
ahead, Beard.
Yeah. One of the ways that he could have done was to ensure that his stakes were actually 1.5 foot above the water, even though that
No.
probably wouldn't be good.
I'm trying to
It
see
probably
if
would have
that
been better
water
if
is
they-
curving.
Hello.
I'm trying to see if that water is curving. What's underneath my horizontal is curving.
I heard what you said. One of the ways that could have done is to have those stakes buoyant. They are on the water.
That's following the water, sir. That's not creating a horizontal plane. You don't know anything about surveying. Horizontal
trying to find
planes,
out
when you
if the
create them,
water is-
don't care what's
Hold on.
under you.
Watch. You're trying to find out whether or not the water is curved. Not
Right,
that
so you
it's
can't use
curved
the water.
from the horizontal, but the fact that it's curved. If it was
No.
if it was curved, then you would have to basically raise the water up.
I don't know what you're talking about. A horizontal
No.
plane doesn't care what's under you.
Let me finish.
Yeah, let him explain. Okay, don't
The
interrupt.
plane that you're not trying to make a plane with the stakes. That doesn't make any sense because you already admitted that you didn't try to do that.
Yes, I am.
No,
The
you
top
already
of those
admitted that
stakes
you
are my
didn't-
horizontal plane.
I asked you, how did you make sure that your stakes were exactly 1.5 above the water? You said, I didn't care. It didn't matter.
I didn't care at the time we're creating a horizontal plane
Now,
with the tools that
the
create a
horizontal
horizontal plane.
plane is
You don't
made-
even understand the argument.
Yeah, I do. The horizontal
You don't
plane
understand
is
how to do
made
this.
by the optic itself.
Exactly.
This is not it's not a physical thing. It's
What are
just
you
an
talking about?
orientation. It's an orientation in space. That's it.
Yeah, and the top of those stakes are that space. The top of the stakes are the space. Yes,
Still not.
They're in the space above the water.
Man,
yeah, I can't take that, dude. Unless you know his whole process, I don't think you should be naysaying Locky's
He doesn't know shit about surveying. He doesn't know shit about
I knew
surveying.
to ask about the stakes? Duh.
Because you're asking the wrong question.
Yeah, there's two methods to different madness, man. Let him tell you the whole process, please, because this is fucking irritating.
I'm asking the right questions because the problem is that if you don't have the reference point where it needs to be, you're not going to get anything.
Fine, but he's the leader of the project. Listen to his whole project, then tell him where he didn't have the reference point.
Heard the exact thing. That's why I know
But you're
what
not
to
describing my project. You're not just using the water. The water doesn't matter. I could have done it over anything and use the same process, and that's what the top of those stakes create. And you double check it by back shooting, using different instruments to double check and doubling back, closing the loop. That means that your horizontal plane, as you interrupt me, that means your horizontal plane has been created accurately. And then you measure down from the top of those stakes, which is the horizontal plane, to the water below it, which should be, because you established that benchmark in the beginning, 1.5 feet. And if it is, the water is horizontal with the horizontal plane you created. If it's not, then the water is curving. The water would be curving if it wasn't.
You're trying to measure the surface of the water.
Yeah, by creating a horizontal. By creating a horizontal plane above it. Yes, you're right. I am. And when we created that horizontal plane above it, independent of the water, right?
That would be a gravitational. Yeah, that's a gravitational reference. You're saying on the land that horizontal plane.
Don,
It's a
thanks for
horizontal
your
plane.
input.
Okay.
Just chill for a second. Rakia, let him talk too. I hear you whining a lot about over talking, but so far since I got here,
Anyway,
I've heard you doing the over talking.
He's
So
getting
I'm
his
just
words
saying, chill.
The horizontal plane that you're creating with the theodolite is just a position in space. It doesn't even matter what you're attached to make that happen. You would agree with that, right?
I've already said that.
Okay, it could literally be floating in the middle of the air. It doesn't really matter.
It is floating in the middle of the air.
Good,
Theoretically.
be happy. Somebody finally figured that out. Now,
I said that already.
Gotcha. Okay, so we understand that when you're trying to see something that is supposed to be curving or not curving, right? And you have reference points, those stakes. If those stakes are not equidistant along that surface, that you could sit there and you're shooting that horizontal, you're not going to see a deviation that way.
The top of the stakes are the horizontal.
The top of the stake
dumb?
Hang on, Jeremy. I can handle it, Jeremy.
You've already established a horizontal with the instrument itself.
The top of the stakes, correct?
No.
Yes. The top of those stakes are the horizontal plane.
What part of you've already created a horizontal plane with the device itself did you miss?
Yes, using the top of the stakes as a benchmark.
You don't need the stakes to do that.
They're used as a reference, sir. Because you
it
can't
doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, you can put a string.
You don't.
This guy is a moron.
Dude, he has to use his physical. He has to use his physical manifestation. No, I want to say this real quick.
What
because the
expertise
instrumentation.
do you have in this?
You're interrupting me. Curved, I'm about to tell you
goddamn
something.
right I'm interrupting
So he's
you.
using the top
Because
of the
you're interrupting the
manifestation
fucking
because
discussion.
the instrument
Did you do
cannot
that?
reach that far.
What
That's why
do
he
you
closes the loop
God.
with the with the objects. Okay,
No.
he closes the loop. You can't use the instrument, buddy.
Because here's the thing, I can use a plumb line on anything.
You don't know shit. You've
Yes.
never done surveying, I can tell.
Man, it's not complicated. as
Yeah,
far as this is
man.
concerned.
Have you done surveying?
Rakia,
I'm asking a simple
conversation.
question. Okay, I'm asking him a question. Conversation. He can answer. Have you ever done surveying?
Now let me finish because I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, that's what I
about
thought.
Your questions. So here it
Can
is.
you do a screen share and draw? Can you draw what you're saying, Bearded?
You're creating a plumb line with the instrument itself. Perpendicular to that plumb line is a horizontal.
But not
There's
for the whole
no way around
distance.
that. You don't know. That has nothing. Distance has nothing to do with that.
Yes,
If you say so, if you say so, I'll
Yes,
listen
it
to what
does.
you got to say. Just
Nothing
keep in mind.
to do with that. If the instrument is plumb, then distance has nothing. It doesn't matter if it's right up next to the instrument or 1,000 miles away from the instrument.
But that's not
It's
true. They talk
still-
about the limits to these instruments' accuracy all the
That
time
has
in here, sir.
nothing to do with what I just said.
Okay.
Zero.
All right, boss.
You're getting way off base here.
I do have a question that I'd like to ask really quick, just for the room. Now we have Rakia here has done the surveying work. Like, so either he has learned about surveying and then applied it in person to use, put it to use. And then we have somebody who has yet to answer if they've done any surveying work. I believe you probably studied it, but I don't know if you've actually put it to use. So in this instance, wouldn't we have to defer to Rakia as the temporary expert in the subject until somebody with equal experience comes along and can actually
And this is something you can do yourself.
challenge him?
You don't have to
think
trust
that
me.
works the opposite direction there?
And the answer to that is no, Twit.
Okay, well, I'd like to know why, because that's what I hear in here.
Because
I hear other
Rakia doesn't know what he's doing with it.
Yeah, right. Anybody can do this. You don't have to
Hang
be
on.
an expert.
He does up to a point, but he is making some extrapolations that are incorrect. And as a matter of fact, Rakia and I have discussed this, and on 2 separate occasions, Rakia has said that yes, he has agreed that what he is doing, what he's describing here, does not differentiate between a flat earth and a curved earth.
That's not what I said.
It is what you said.
No,
You
I
agreed to
said
it
I
both
understood
times.
your argument. It's not what it says. I believe it does, wholeheartedly.
Nope, you agreed.
I wouldn't be a flat earther if I didn't, you moron.
I'm not going to bicker with you about it.
Okay, well then I'll state exactly what I said. I agree with you, your argument. I do not agree that that's what I believe. I believe I'm creating. Wait, don't cut me off. I believe I'm creating a horizontal plane over a body of water with the top of those grade stakes. And when you measure down over a mile from the top of those grade stakes to your established 1.5 benchmark, then if it's 1.5 everywhere, then what's underneath you, which in this case is water, is also horizontal. It's
Okay, are you done?
If it would have different, simple as that, by 3 inches or 4 inches or 8 inches or whatever y'all say it should, then it would have been a curved surface underneath that horizontal plane that anyone can create.
How would you know?
What do you agree with me about? You said you agreed with me. What do you agree with me about? Your mic's cutting out if you're talking.
So either you're cutting out or
You're silent. You're silent.
It's you, Rakia. So when your mic works, please just answer that. You said you agreed with me, but you're not agreeing with what explain that.
Because you're saying what I'm doing is not creating a horizontal. You're saying I'm saying I can see where you believe that. That's not what I believe. I believe I'm creating a horizontal plane above a surface and then measuring down from that horizontal plane, and that physical measurement is telling me that the surface of the water is not curving. It's also
Can you talk
horizontal.
about that measurement down? I'm sorry, Kurt. Go.
Now,
Yeah, when you set your first...
despite what you believe, Rakia, you understand that what you're doing, if the earth is curved, you're still going to follow the curvature of the earth with this. We talked about this, and you agreed that would be the case.
And if the earth isn't curved, I'm creating a horizontal plane, correct? Would you agree?
Yeah, yes, that's the fucking point. You're not differentiating, which is exactly what I said.
It's just your belief.
And you had a fucking fit.
Wait, curved. Is this true? Like, if he's breaking,
he's not making sure that each individual location is plumb. He says he's making like some sort of flat tabletop or something with this closing the loop thing.
Walk up through the first step.
Creates a horizontal plane. It's
He
not
thinks
vertical.
Rakia,
Yeah, that's where the middle ground is happening, Rakia.
Well, hold on, guys. Rakia,
Tools do, man.
Rakia, we're
think they
using a
do?
double. Rakia, we're using a double riding method.
We double. It's called back shooting, and we close the loop, and we also checked it with a laser.
Right. Yeah.
expect
You and
that.
Curve need to. Y'all need to get a
just-
better agreement on that.
Don,
Just
let
being
me
real clear. Over
give
the
me
next
2 minutes.
Two and three quarter, over the first mile, we were very accurate, like very meticulous. Over the next mile, it got less and less meticulous because
Rakia,
we weren't
I'm
finding
still-
any drop.
I still don't know what you did. Let's go through the step. You had the benchmark, I don't know,
Jesus.
3, 4, 5 feet
Don't
above
even
the
bother
ground.
entertaining this guy, Rakia.
Oh, shut up.
You
I
need
wasn't
to go
talking
do
to
some
you.
survey, and then you can ask.
No, I'm asking you now. How did you transfer this benchmark
You
to
didn't
the next one?
understand that. You do, it's because you don't
Rakia, I
understand, and there's
explain
nothing I
it.
can do to
It's
help you.
it's that difficult to
He's
explain to me
playing
what
with
you
you,
did.
Rakia. I'm sure he heard everything you said before.
So
Okay, Chai,
you had the
here you
first
go.
benchmark.
Grade one.
What you have the
Okay, let me
benchmark. What do you
explain it
do?
then. Let me explain it. Okay, go to your local store, rent a laser and a theodolite. Go put a stake in the ground. It doesn't matter, random height. Shoot the top of that stake with your story pole. You're gonna get a measurement. Let's say it says 3 feet. Go mark 100 foot away, the same 3 foot. Put a stake in the ground where the top of that stake is at 3 foot on your measuring tool. Do that 3 or 4 times. Move your instrument and shoot back to your original stake and all your other stakes, and make sure you're getting that same measurement. Now it's going to be different because you moved your source, your laser or your theodolite. So it might read 2.5 feet now, right? But as long as they read all the same, it means they're horizontal. And then continue that process out for as long as you want.
Rakia,
That means you have a horizontal plane created.
how does that work on a hill?
Say it again.
How does it work on a hill?
The same way. You can move that instrument to the bottom of the hill or the top of the hill. The only thing that's going to change is the spot where the crosshairs hit your story pole. But you can carry that measurement and create a horizontal plane through the hill or around the hill or whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Now,
so,
if you don't have line of sight, the best way to do it is a water level.
Rakia,
Yeah.
you're trying to find out if something's curved. It doesn't matter if it's water or a hill.
Correct.
So, by your methodology, you're making a hill flat.
No, I'm not. But what you can do right now is go create a hill, go build a hill, and I'll come out there and tell you hang on, you cut me off. Go ahead.
Yeah, who can't put a deck on the side of a hill? I mean, this isn't a hard
What a
concept.
dumbass, man.
It's
This
not.
is
It's
And
not
it's
a
a
matter
long.
of
Listen, this is cringe. This is cringe as fuck. I
Don, it
don't
has
know.
to do with Don. It has to do with elevation change. Not
Yeah,
about the hill,
so-
the elevation.
I get it. I just.
He's
Like
creating
I
a straight
said,
line on an elevation change.
Go have him create a hill. I can come out and I'll let him choose the height, and I'll tell him how tall the top of that hill is from that benchmark, and I'll show him every spot on that hill that's different
Rakia,
from that original benchmark.
I didn't say
You know
anything
how?
about finding out
Because
how
that's
tall
how
they
those
are.
instruments work. They create a horizontal, and you
The
can
me-
measure up or down
That's-
from them.
Rocket, the method right before you move the theodolite or the laser.
No, the thing is, he's creating a straight line. He's not measuring anything.
I'm creating a horizontal line, and then I'm measuring from that
how-
horizontal
No,
line.
you don't. You don't.
Which part don't y'all get? I do it.
That's
every
the,
day.
the assumption is what we don't get.
No, it's not an assumption. I do it every day.
It isn't a no, Rakia. If the earth is curved, you're not creating a horizontal line.
You use multiple points of.
Whether Earth is curved or not. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
What
the Earth doesn't have nothing to do
It
with
does
line.
matter. It does matter.
It doesn't.
I can do it on a square
No, it
box,
doesn't.
a rectangle, a curved, a
That's
flat
right.
plane. I can do it over anything.
Can you walk Chikey
You're
through
exactly
it, Rocky?
right.
He seems to be.
Can we
Chikey seems to be able
stop
to-
with the fucking pom poms, please?
I'm creating a
So-
horizontal line in infinite
Well, stop
space.
with the fucking nanas, please.
So,
Herb.
real
Nah.
quick, Rakia, were those stakes the same distance above the water?
No.
Yes,
Jesus Christ.
I can't. I'm sorry. You're like low.
Over 2 3/4 miles, they were within 3/4 of an inch, and we think
They
that's
were-
just human error.
Above the surface of the water.
Correct. When we measured down from our top of our stakes, which is our horizontal line in infinite space, down to the water, right, with a tape measure,
Right.
we got our first benchmark we set was 1.5 feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every other stake was within 3/4 of an inch of that 1.5 feet.
Okay,
To be honest with you,
so
the last 3/4 of a mile was where it was off the most because we shot longer and longer distances, because when we went back and were checking the first mile, there was no drop, right? There was like 1/4 of an inch difference in the measurement.
drop or 1/4 of an inch.
Leo, do you realize you need 8 inches in a
Right.
mile?
And then how did you say you proved that even though it could have been like a curved tire, a side of it, like whatever, you proved it was a flat table by what?
Because it wasn't even an inch difference, not even a whole inch.
No, that's not.
Okay,
we all know
that's a
that.
fair question. Listen to this. Take your tire, right, and put it up on end where you see the curve,
Yeah.
you can see the curve. Now create a horizontal line above it
Right.
and measure down to that tire. You can measure every drop you want. Drop from horizontal.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. How are you proving? How are you proving that you made that horizontal?
Because
line?
he was using multiple.
Do.
He was using multiple stakes when he made his
Yeah,
horizontal. So when he moved the theodolite and he back shot, he's going against multiple stakes, not just one.
That's
right?
what I'm trying to ask about. Yeah, so you could see from the first one flat across to the last one, basically.
Yeah, why is that so hard to comprehend?
How far apart? It's not. I'm trying to put the data on the table, man. It really isn't.
Show the data.
A
Well,
tablet and a laser have limits,
From
right? They have
first-
limits.
First to
But
last,
if you go
Rakia.
beyond that limits, if you go beyond the limits, right, you're going to get more inaccurate. But on certain days, you can shoot 1,000 feet and get the same. Like if those stakes are still there, you can go shoot 1,000 foot on a clear day, and they would show the same horizontal plane. The best way to double check it, and I didn't do this, I wish I would have, is to get a water level tool because it has infinite distance.
So, Rocky, were all the sticks the same height, or were they different heights?
No,
1,000 feet, not much of a
top. All the top of the stakes were set at the horizontal plane, which we established to be 1.5 feet by our benchmark. And after we got done, after the first mile, people were going back and measuring down from the top of those stakes down to the water, and there was no deviation.
But before you said there was 1/4 of an inch, which is deviation.
Yeah.
Oh my
But now,
God,
fuck that. But your side, you know that you're one-sided, that one the whatever you want to call it, you need the whole square. So how are you saying there's no hump, even though you got that one side equal to the, like I said, first to last, and like Curve tried to ask you to verify.
I'm not sure how else to explain it. When you set these horizontals, no matter if you're on land or water or whatever, you're trying to create a horizontal in space, you double back, and you have to double back and shoot the same lengths, and then you can check it with a laser, you can check it with a water level, you can do different things to double check.
Yeah, you guys
work,
ever
but-
seen flatbed trailers? You ever seen anything that's straight, chest, all the stuff, concrete blocks, all the things that are like level and straight that you probably might have in your house too. The idea that you guys are saying we can't have straight level stuff is fucking insane.
I've also seen a straight line
I'll be
around
back.
a
I'll
That's
be
crazy.
back in just a minute.
Demock, I've
Batshit
also
crazy.
seen a straight line wrapped around a basketball.
Hey, look, I got my stuff sitting on a straight chest and a straight floor and a straight panels and a straight table and other straight shit and a straight piece of road and a straight driveway and everything straight. Where's all this curve shit at?
Well, I've seen a basketball with
And that was a straight ad hom there.
A curve? Basketball you seen? Oh,
basketball.
that's
with a
good for that basketball. I'm asking you about where do you see curves on the planet, buddy?
You're
Are we missing something here? We're not talking about the planet and whether you can make a straight line somewhere or not.
You said straight
So
line.
why would water exist
that
anywhere straight and flat and level if you can't make a straight line?
Basketball is actually straight, flat, and level. So what's your point?
That is my point, idiot. No
yeah,
balls.
The basketball line, the center
No, a
line
ball
of the
isn't flat and
basketball
level,
is straight,
buddy.
Flat and level.
There's no flat and level ball anywhere. You retard.
No,
Why would water curve it?
The straight line on a basketball is straight. The middle line, the center line of a basketball.
That's not flat and level.
Flat and
That's not flat and level.
Yes, it is.
A ball's not flat and level. You're fucking retarded. You are retarded, buddy. You are insane.
Well, Democ's the last person to try to argue with about this. He's senseless.
No, I'm the one that has
what
common
you
sense.
did.
You motherfuckers try to make retard
heard
shit up, talking about this is
multiple
that, and
stories
turkeys
from
are
you.
ducks, and elephants are fucking giraffes.
Here
and-
we go.
Yeah, I know.
It's just Democ
I know.
rambling.
Santa
for no,
Claus is
no
more real
real
than your
reason
globe.
today.
Santa Claus has more evidence than your globe.
Silence.
Why is that,
But
Kurt?
Santa Claus is real.
Exactly, but your globe isn't.
So, what instrument did you say you used for this, Rakia? Theodolite?
I thought he said he's coming back in a minute.
I would super glue a whole bunch of yardsticks together on the top of 5-foot beach balls across a flat level pond or lake.
Go do it. Nobody's stopping you.
And then we'll see how straight this bitch is. Straight.
Do it.
It's always
Do
been
it.
straight.
Do
I've
it.
already done it straight.
What would you
Water
see with
already
that,
does
though,
that.
Democ? What would you see with that? What would you expect to see if
You
you
see
did that?
flat level water. You'll see those yardsticks. They'll be straight across. They're not going to be a bubble of yardsticks.
How do you know this before doing
You
it?
let me know, Twit, when you see a bubble of yardsticks. Get some beach balls and put them in your pool, and
Well,
tell
no,
me when
okay,
the middle
and
one
I get-
bounces up farther than the
I've
last
been
two.
thinking about your beach ball thing since the other day, and I still think the
Right.
Great Salt Lake's the best place to do it. But
I do
here's
too.
the thing,
There's also another one you have to do, the cube.
But
Because
wait,
if you
let's
think
talk
you're
about
on a
the-
ball,
let's talk about this
optically,
one real quick.
you don't want to see just the front of the object. Like if I'm looking at a box of baggies and it says Mr. Good Top on the front, and on the bottom it says Good Sense. I don't want to see Good Top on my globe. I want to see Good Sense on the
No.
bottom. Yeah.
Well, I
on a
don't
cube.
even know what you're talking about, but I
Well,
would like to talk
to
about
me,
your
that blows my
experiment.
mind that you guys don't fathom what a ball would really look like on how optics would really. That it blows your mind how a cube would work on a ball going around it. That's odd to me. To me, that's the oddest thing I've ever got in my life about ballers, not understanding how a cube rolling around this ball would not react in reality. You're acting like a cube on a flat plane is going to act like it would
I
on a
have no
ball,
idea-
which is
I
not
have no
fucking,
idea what
doesn't
you're
make
actually
any
saying.
sense. A cube, 10 foot, or your eye
Okay.
level, going away from you, on
But
a
how do you
curved
curve it
surface,
now? Like,
would
this is not
curve
curving.
away and down. This cube would turn and have a tilt.
There,
After the cube has a
wrap it
tilt,
up.
you would only see the bottom of the cube on your ball,
69
your
of the
8 inch per
degree
mile square
tilt.
drop.
You couldn't see it. You couldn't see it that far away.
Sure could.
You
At
couldn't.
1 mile. 1 mile.
Well, you know
69
what? You
of a
would see
degree
that
tilt.
far away. You'd see the front face of the cube. Welcome to flat Earth. You'll never see the bottom. That's my point. If you can't see the bottom, you're not on the
You would-
globe, huh?
You would never expect to see the bottom on a
No,
globe.
yes, you would on the globe unless you're fucking retarded. Unless you were physically retarded in the slobber box,
okay,
like
so
fucking.
listen, you're telling me
Unless
I'm
you're a
physically
fucking
retarded.
vegetable laying in a
Okay,
bed,
you're
you're
telling
telling
me
me
that.
you don't
Come on.
comprehend what a fucking square would look like going around a
Listen,
cube.
you're telling
Do you
me that
really
that's
not know
me.
how to fucking get AutoCAD and get the fucking computer and get your fucking screen set up and have a ball and have a cube go around it at a distance? And I'm guaranteeing you'll see the bottom.
Now mute him so somebody can respond.
He it just basically called me a slobbering retard. That's a vegetable.
Yeah,
so.
I did. I did. You're all slobbering fucking retards. Unless you can get the fucking
guy who
image,
can't figure out-
get the
the guy who
motherfucking
cannot figure out
simulator
how
and show
much
me I'm
tilt-
wrong. Show me with the ball in a square that I would not see the bottom of the fucking cube going around the ball. Right now. You lying cunt.
You wouldn't.
You lying worthless
You just
cunt.
wouldn't.
Go get the
You wouldn't.
fucking simulator.
No, because even if you shrunk you down into the simulation where you were only 6 foot tall, you still wouldn't see and the earth was the shape, whatever you put it in, the spherical shape, you still wouldn't see that. There would be a point in every AutoCAD design you did, drawing you did, that you wouldn't see the bottom of that ball.
You're
going
not
around
getting
the
it.
sphere.
You could gain
So-
altitude, and if that
Bullshit.
cube-
Get the
if that
fucking
cube
shit
is
out.
falling
Show
off
me,
the
liar
wall-
twit.
No, Ricky,
Get the fucking
One.
schematics. Get
Stop
the
the
fucking program and show it, you fucking retards.
Timok, I have a fucking retard, Timok. I have a question to you, fucking retard.
Bitch,
This
does it
yourself,
got to do
because
with
it's a
presenting
claim that
something? Does it ever
Timok,
have any
you bitch,
presentation
shut the
behind it,
hell
cunt?
down.
You
fucking retard. You can't.
Shut up,
You
slobber
fucking
box.
retard cunt.
Hey, slobber dick. Shut the fuck up, slobbery.
Can you shut the hell up and let me actually make
Hey.
an argument?
Yeah, okay, wheelchair.
So it's your argument that this cannot work. So have you modeled it?
Elon
It's
Hawking.
your
Him,
claim.
please.
So
Elon
have
Hawking.
you modeled it?
Get the fucking
Have you
demonstration on
modeled
the fucking program and show me.
Have you modeled
ball
it,
loving
Timok?
bitches got
It's
1,000
your
ball
claim.
programs stuck
Timok,
up your ass.
You're not making an
Play
argument
one.
unless you
Get
model
your
it.
fucking ball programs out and show
In order
how
to
proud
have
you
a
are of them.
complete argument,
Show
you
your
need to
ball
model it.
programs and show how the
Show me
fucking
the
works.
model that you
Show
did
how the
on your
fucking
CAD
pride
Mumble
works.
that asshole real fast.
I don't see none of you guys putting the fucking ball in there with the cube going
Timok,
around
did you
it.
do it
Cunts.
on a CAD program yet?
Hey, retard, did you is the question,
Retard,
ball
did
boy.
you do it?
The one
Lori,
who believes they live on a ball
not
should have
gonna
done it,
work,
not me.
Lori.
I don't live on a fucking ball,
This is
retard.
not
Why
gonna
would I
work.
need to show myself
Okay,
what a ball
Demo,
looks
can
like?
you
So you
calm
didn't
down?
do it, Timok. There you
Hold
go.
on, Lori.
I'm
I rest
fine,
my
but that
case.
he right
Can
there
you
is being
calm down?
stupid.
Calm down, okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, thanks.
So Demok, you
I'm
realize
just saying,
see
I
the
want a
bottom-
demonstration. Talking to you
You
guys
realize
without
you
the
see the bottom of the-
demonstration. Get the demonstration in the
Christ,
chat
Demok.
and let's go over it, please.
If he's fine, how come
Will
he's
that work
talking
for you?
over everybody?
No.
Well, let's talk over the demonstration. All of us.
No.
Demok, you
No.
God damn
Twit
it, Demok.
asking you a question, Demok. You diverted
Who's
away.
gonna do anything but talk over people?
Do you not
The
want
fucking demonstration will show us all together, retard. Let's go. What are you waiting on?
So, retard, provide us with the demonstration.
Lori.
It's your argument.
Lori, stop for a second. Hang
No,
on.
it's not. It's your globe.
Demok, are you going to talk about the beach ball or not?
That's a different one besides the cube. Yeah, I can.
That's what Twit was asking you about. That's what she wanted to know and wanted to talk to you about.
Glow in the dark beach
Wait.
ball
Can you discuss that?
at night. Yeah. Yeah, you can either get a string that's the same distance, or you can get like a yardstick, like I said, or something a little longer. But you can be taut and straight, like or levels. You can get actual the cheapest little levels you can get. Connect them, little. If you can get a cheap one or get old ones donated or something free. Connect them on the top of each beach ball that's 5 foot, 10 foot, whatever. The beach balls have to be the same size, same beach ball. Put them all across the water as far as you need to. Make a cross from one end to the next, north, south, east, west. And everybody can visualize it, come and video it, show it, watch it being done, watch it being, from beginning to end. And you can see if the middle beach ball deviates from the other beach balls. And you'll be able to see the level the whole way. You can zoom in on the level, each part that you want, anywhere you want, in between any beach ball, anywhere. The whole way, anybody can. Demonstration, demonstration, demonstration. Anybody can see it. You can put it on their live. You can show your friends. You can have your grandma go to the north. You can go to the south. I can go to the east, whatever.
Okay, now let Twit talk. Twit, are you up to speed on this now?
No, I really lost interest, but thank you for trying.
Okay. Levels.
I forgot.
Levels all across that are going to show level as expected on a globe. It's not showing anything.
As expected on a globe, the middle ball would go up higher than the other balls, the last 4 balls, north, south, east, west. On a globe, the middle ball would be up higher than the other ball. By 8 inches.
Higher.
We did it for a mile.
Higher relative to a line from end
Yeah.
to end.
Relative to a curve that it's sitting on of water, retard.
Well, this is over.
Relative to the fucking surface
Why
that's
are you
pushing the
talking?
balls up at the same height, all 5 foot. And if they're all 5 foot, so there's a problem.
Demok,
One of
you
the beach
can't have a
balls has to
discussion
go up
about
higher.
it. Go ahead and wrap it up. Say your final words on it.
I still don't see your guys' ball demonstration with the cube. Thank you. Welcome to Flat Earth.
Very good. That's settled now.
Already done it.
Dimmock, I've already done it. So it's on my channel. All you gotta do is tell me what color's the bottom of the cube.
Did you welcome everybody to Flat Earth? The cube is blue on every section except the bottom. The bottom section will be white.
In my
and you
video.
want to see white.
In my video, just
I'm telling you how to do it.
I already did it. All you have to do is tell me.
Oh,
what
so you
color
made the
bottom
five
is.
sides of the cube blue?
Demok, let him
I'm
finish.
telling him, you retard bastard. Kurt, can
And
you
you're
hear
gonna
me?
stop
Five
over
sides
talking
blue,
him.
bottom white.
All right, now I've already said this. Dimmock, all you have to do is go to my channel. It's called Dimmock's Cube. All right, and you just watch that, and then you tell me what the color of the bottom of the cube is.
Wouldn't I tell you whether you did the speculations right or not?
Just waiting. Whenever you do that, then you can continue on with whatever it is you're talking about. Till then,
So you got 24,000 mile 901 circumference ball,
except for the fact
and you got the
that
little
didn't give
observer,
that
which
as
is the height of me,
specification.
which is 5
You
point
didn't give. You said
5
you
foot
could do
11
this on
inches.
a hill, on anything.
We're doing it on water. Don't get stupid.
Don't drown
No,
it
I'm
out,
referring
Demok.
to your original Dimmock's Cube.
Yeah,
said it
we're
can
doing it
done
over
on
water, son. We put it on the boat. We put the base of a cube to a stick. The stick is bolted to a boat. The
We
boat
already
is
got all
stuck to
this,
the
Demok.
water.
We don't need your
Right. Now the
repetition.
water will float. You just push it away from
You
you.
didn't do
and
that
you have
either, Dimmock. Sorry, but you didn't do that, so I don't know why you're defending anybody else.
C4, say what you gotta say so he can be unmuted. He can't shut up while somebody else is talking.
I am not C4, but thank
That's Bearded Devil. That's
Did you
Erebus.
say
He's
that's
being
it?
quiet now.
Well, yeah, actually, I only came in real quick to ask Rakia, how high was this theodolite above the water?
Uh, 5 foot, 6, within 4 and 6 foot. Wow.
It doesn't matter.
Wow.
Measuring at a max distance of 1,000 feet, the drop is still less than the error bar.
We did less
Hold
than
on.
1,000 foot. The 1,000 foot was just a double, like to check.
Wait.
I was saying you could go up 1,000 foot
Hold
on certain
Here-
days.
Hold
I want
on.
you to- well, I want
How
you to see
did
the
you
disconnect.
create a horizontal a foot and a half above the water with a theodolite that's 4 to 5 feet above the water?
Called a story pole curve. You must be a moron when it comes to surveying.
He didn't.
Jesus,
Yeah,
bro.
you said stakes, not a story pole.
Yes,
Why are
we
you
use a story pole to get the top of the stake right. Oh my God, y'all people are morons.
Why did
Y'all
you?
really don't know
But you-
anything about surveying.
Hold
do you?
up.
No,
Hold
this
on.
is just a very
He
odd way
said
to
he
do
used
it.
a tape measure. He said he used a tape measure.
Yeah, to measure down from the top to top of the stake,
Yeah.
right?
Okay,
to the
good. All right.
water, we use the tape measure. Yes.
Oh, okay. So
You
then how is your
you could use the same story pole to measure that
you have
too.
a theodolite
Oh my God.
3.5 to 4.5 feet above the water, not in line with the stakes. So do tell everybody how you created the horizontal with the stakes.
A story pole on top of that 1.5 stake
Here,
and read whatever number your theodolite crosshairs are reading, which may be 6 feet, 4 foot
No.
8, whatever,
I don't-
and then you carry that
Story.
number across, and that gives you a 1.5 foot. You moron!
So which is it? You did either the
Oh
measuring
my
tape or
God!
you used another stick. Either way, you didn't actually create a horizontal with the selves.
Really?
Erebus, he probably
Take-
never
take that
actually
back.
even did this.
Well,
certainly
according
Y'all
to
don't
the
even know how to use a story
This is
pole.
a fucking
Y'all
story
are
you
saying
made up.
y'all are saying because my theodolite is set up 6 foot above the water
Yeah,
that I
that
can't create a
matters.
stake, a
That
benchmark
matters.
1.5 feet above the water
That
using
so
a story pole.
Then
That
why
tells
did you
everyone
even
who's
have
ever done
the stakes in the
surveying
water in
that
the
y'all
first
don't
place?
know shit
Why are you
about
yelling at me?
surveying.
Why are you
Rakia.
triggered, bro?
This is
Because he's trying to
ridiculous.
talk
This is a
over-
waste of time.
yell over
And
Bearded
nobody
Devil.
said this.
Twit, hey Twit, this is a waste of time. These people don't even know how to use a story pole.
Rakia,
Thanks for yelling.
was your story pole planted inside the water, like into the ground in the water?
Do you know what a story pole is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's literally a pole. It has markings on it. Tells you all those kind of wonderful things. Now answer my question.
It tells you what elevation your benchmark is at, correct?
Did you plant it in the mud?
No, why would I do that? I put it on top of the stake, sir.
Okay, so
that gives me my horizontal. The bottom of that gives me my horizontal.
Why didn't you just use a series of story poles as opposed to the stakes, which were unnecessary for your demonstration? Because you didn't actually.
Because story poles are like $60 a piece. You only need one of them. Oh my goodness! You know nothing. What are you talking about?
Deductible.
You could make a story pole out of a stick and some paint.
Yeah, you can use a stick. You can use a level. You can use whatever you want.
So why
You're a moron, sir. Bearded Devil, let me say this one more time. You are a moron.
Yeah, you can say it, but either way, I just showed.
You're proving yourself. I'm not just saying it. You are actually
the horizontal
proving it yourself.
1 second.
Jesus.
Do
you know what grade stakes are?
Why are you saying that he didn't prove it? No, why? What is it that?
Because I didn't use story poles.
Hold on. He went off telling how everybody that he was using those stakes to create a horizontal. They were 1.5 feet above the water. He measured it and all that kind of stuff. But when asked where his theodolite was in relation to those, it's 4.5 feet taller than everything. And if he wants,
it could be 20 foot taller. That doesn't matter.
If he wants to say,
it doesn't matter, sir.
I used the story pole and not the stakes in reality. Then he could have just said that.
Or y'all are this dumb, right? This proves it right here. Y'all are this dumb.
Oh my God! When it comes to the subject. And let him speak.
Okay, let me ask him one question. Let me clarify this. Bearded Devil, how many times have you used a theodolite and a story pole in your lifetime?
Probably once, about 20 years ago.
That's what I thought. There's no clue. No clue.
Okay. Do you think that changes anything about what I just said? Because you think
yes,
that I
it does. It doesn't change that you're a moron.
I can tell you right now.
How many story poles does a professional surveyor use?
Artist, and somehow or another, y'all think I don't know a damn thing about perspective.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about surveyors now. Let's talk about surveyors. You hire a professional surveyor to come give you a horizontal line in your yard. How many story poles is he going to bring?
Hello? I don't.
Hello? How many story poles? Is he going to stick story poles in the mud to create your horizontal line?
Dude,
what a moron.
I can still put 2 and 2
this
together.
Proves it, man. I thought y'all were disingenuous, but y'all aren't. Y'all are really stupid when it comes to the subject.
No, see, the problem is I found something that was wrong with what you said, and you're going off
you
on
think a professional surveyor.
Rakia, when you're done, let the other person finish.
It doesn't change anything.
Listen to me. Let the other guy finish.
Okay, so let me finish. A bearded devil.
Yeah, finish your interruption by all means.
You hire a professional surveyor to come establish a horizontal in your yard. Is he going to stick story poles in the mud to do it, or is he going to use grade stakes?
T-bone stakes.
Well, more than likely, he's going to use that storyboard in the very beginning, right?
To create a benchmark with a grade stake.
So what he's going to use both of them, right? He's going to use both.
Right, but one story pole and multiple grade stakes. And
so what's the issue? Yeah, it's $60. All right, we got it. Listen, stop shouting. You don't have to shout at me.
1,000
you don't have to shout at me. I'm agreeing with you. It's very expensive to have a storyboard and stick them every 200 feet, isn't it?
No, it's not how it's done. It's not how it's done.
You didn't even listen to what I just said. You didn't even listen to what I just said, did I? What did I say?
You said it's very expensive. That's not why you wouldn't do it though. It's not why it's not done. That's why his argument is so dumb.
Because there's a margin of error every 200 feet, right?
He doesn't even know what a story pole is.
Oh, you're not going to agree with that? You're just going to keep going off on what he said?
Well, what do you want to know? There's a margin of error every 200 foot. Yeah, there's plus and minus, but it's very minimal.
Okay. Thank you. I'm glad that we can finally come into an agreement rather than you just shouting about bearded devil.
There's plus or minus in every measurement. And your point is?
Your ability to
bearded devil, you want to talk about
my
story
point
poles
is that you've been yelling You've been yelling about bearded devil, but the only thing that's happening right now is neither one of you are producing anything other than just an argument back and forth about what was being done.
Rocky's not letting him have a chance to explain it.
Well, yeah,
he said enough when he said that I should have taken story poles and stuck them in the mud.
Are you afraid of the truth?
The other thing he said was,
Rocky, are you afraid of the truth?
How did I create a benchmark? How did I create a benchmark a foot and a half above the water if my theodolite was 6 foot above the water? That proves it again. He knows nothing
He's
about
just crying
surveying.
now. Come on.
You're trying to avoid the truth. Let him speak.
No, I'm demolishing a man who's coming up against me about surveying, who obviously knows nothing.
I got a question. How did you establish your other How did you establish your other benchmarks for your theodolite when you were changing positions?
We double back and close the loop just like you would any other time when you don't have complete line of
Listen to the
sight.
question. Listen to the question.
I did. Listen to the answer.
No, you didn't. Ask again.
Yes, I did.
So, how did you establish the benchmark from when you moved your theodolite from the first point?
We back shot as far as we could.
No.
Then we closed the loop at the end.
He's so stupid he doesn't even understand what you're asking.
Y'all are so dumb. Y'all don't even know. Y'all must not know that is creating a horizontal and double checking your work all at one step. That's how stupid y'all are about the subject. Y'all are very smart on other subjects.
That's not
so
double checking your work. That's just making sure. Hold on. You didn't let me finish, did you?
Go ahead, tell
us. You didn't let me finish. That's the establishment of your horizontal plane. Right?
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
it's not double checking your work, it's establishing your horizontal plane.
Okay, closing the loop is establishing the horizontal
Thank
plane.
you.
Do you agree?
Thank you.
So wait, do you agree? Do you agree? Do you agree?
What do you mean? Do I agree? I just told you were wrong, and you told me that you were double checking your work by closing the loop, and I told you that you were establishing a horizontal plane. That is all you did. That's all you did. You lied to me.
Okay, that's fine. Is that?
That's fine. Oh man.
So that's establishing.
What a conversation.
Oh my goodness.
How could I have a conversation with somebody that lies to me?
You're not having a conversation. A conversation would be you asking me questions and me asking you questions, and we both answer.
And I asked you a question, and you told me that you double checked your work, and I told you that you were lying.
I did. We back shot. We also use lasers.
Closing
to
the loop is establishing a horizontal.
Okay, I'm glad you agree with that. Now, if you measure down, if you did that over water and you measured down from that horizontal.
Now wait a minute.
Hang on.
I thought you said you double checked your work.
We did with lasers and other theodolites. What are you talking about?
So that's double checking work. See, that's double checking your work.
And I
closing the loop is not double checking your work, is it?
It's creating a horizontal plane, though, isn't it?
Did you establish that horizontal plane was the only when you move, hold on. Now when you establish your benchmark for your second shot, all right? Then where did you turn that? Did you turn that for another horizontal shot from the same benchmark?
We did multiple stakes from the same location. Is that what you're asking? We shot multiple benchmarks. Yeah, multiple benchmarks in one location, and then when we had to move a theodolite or didn't have another theodolite set up, back shooting and reestablishing the horizontal, right?
Reestablishing the
horizontal. Yep. And set them up. We also had groups going back with lasers and double checking the horizontal. In sections. Okay.
So were all those stakes the same? Were all those stakes? Were all the stakes the same distance or the same length?
The same distance apart? No.
No, they weren't the same distance apart.
No, they were not the same distance apart. In the first mile, they were relatively close, but in the second and 3/4 of a mile, they weren't. They got further and further.
And they were all, and then when they were getting further and further apart, your margin of error was larger, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, the plus and minus was definitely different. But
did it add to or retract from your argument there, Rakia, when you were trying to make fun of him stuttering? Was that in addition to the argument, or was that just make you look like an asshole?
He won't let me answer. He won't answer. What do you think of conversation? You think he's having a conversation with me? He hasn't answered the first question I answered him, which, when I close the loop, is that establishing a horizontal plane, sir?
And you said it was double checking your work, which then you backtracked.
Okay, so we've gotten past that, right? I've obviously stated how it's creating a horizontal plane and how we double check our work.
I don't think you listened to me at all. I continued to tell you the same exact thing, didn't I? Did I tell you the exact same thing? That closing the loop is establishing a horizontal, right?
Okay,
that's what I told you. Is that what I said?
Yeah. So when you measure down from that,
so I did answer your question. You just now said that I didn't answer your question.
Well, you wouldn't answer. You wouldn't
say
yes.
That's the second time you lied to me in this conversation.
You have never said yes. Say yes.
I did answer your question.
I heard him say yes. And then he asked you if it was double checking.
Why can't he just answer it? Just
say
yes.
Rakia,
if you I don't have to give you what you want.
You could listen.
I answered your question, and whether you liked it or not, I answered your question, didn't I?
Let's move on. Let's move on. Can you do it?
Can you do it? See, the problem is, Rakia, is that you aren't listening to what people are asking. No. See, the problem is do you want to have the conversation again? Do you want to see the other evidence that I have for the Pontchartrain Bridge? Or do you want to keep going? Because I'll give you more evidence about the Pontchartrain Bridge.
Stop speaking over each other. Stop.
Can you establish a horizontal plane over water, sir? Yourself. Can you do it?
Can I do it by myself?
Yeah.
Am I doing it by myself?
Whatever, with a group, however. Can you do it?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, will you?
Okay, will I? Yeah, I may do that. I may. I'm not going to tell you I am or I'm not. I'm going to tell you I may do it.
Fair enough. But you're saying a horizontal line can be established over water for a mile.
For a mile?
You can do it yourself.
Well, can I do it myself? I could probably do it myself. It'll take a long time for me to do it myself.
That's not the issue.
Rakia, what did you mean?
Could you and some helpers do it?
Yeah.
Can it be done?
Yeah, I already answered that question. Yes.
Okay, now, after you get from your start to finish a mile away, your horizontal that you've established, what is going to be the difference in elevation relative to the surface of the water, if any?
Well, you're going to have a difference depending on where you're observing from. Because if you observe from the center, then the difference is going to be on either side. If you're observing from one side, it's going to be in the center.
The physical measurement is going to be different from where you observe it from? What?
Rakia, hold on. You have a starting point, and you're trying to get a horizontal from that elevation, altitude, whatever you want to call it, that height. You want to continue that horizontally out into the distance, a mile into the distance. Are you with me?
Talking to you, sir.
Soroki.
Oh, me? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to Rakia. Yeah, go ahead.
He has no clue.
Start at A, and then at the end, a mile away. I want a horizontal from A to the end. Okay, now what is the difference in elevation, A versus the end, if there is any, relative to the surface of the water?
To the surface of the water, give or take about 8 inches.
Now, how are you going to establish this horizontal? What what technique are you going to employ to do this?
Well, if I was only looking for the horizontal, and I was assuming that the water was a flat plane, the only thing I would do is go out there, drive stakes down at 1.5 feet or whatever, at whatever elevation that you want to, and I would have them, the exact same measurement, the entire length of the water, and from there I would probably, using a theodolite or something like that, go back down and start measuring from each one what the difference is in the looks for it. But that's only if I'm establishing what the water's doing. If I was actually measuring for something else, for mapping or something like that, then I would take the elevations on the water themselves.
Essentially, we're asking you to build LIGO on the water. How do you do it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Do you understand that?
No, I didn't understand that.
Okay, we're asking you how you build LIGO.
This guy, you're going to be a flat earther.
Just chill out, Rakia. It's fine. Let somebody talk for a while.
We're asking essentially, how would you build? They tasked you with building a absolutely flat horizontal plane across 2 miles. How do you do it? How do you get it perfectly flat across that whole distance? In other words, it will be deviating from the surface. How do you continue that measurement from point 1 to point 2 to point 3 to point 4 all the way across your whole range?
Well, establishing the horizontal like that, you would start off with a benchmark, just like Rakia did. Then you would continue on with the next set, and you would close the loop just like he did, and you would keep going.
How does that eliminate
all you're establishing? Hold on. All you're establishing is a horizontal plane. That's it. You're not attempting to do anything else other than establish the elevation.
Correct.
But what he did
said.
creates a segmented curve.
In space.
Hold on, Rakia.
No, I didn't.
Moyak had a question.
What that method gives you a segmented curve.
Which one?
No, it gives you a horizontal plane in space.
No, it doesn't. It actually it will give you the elevation. The only thing that you're concerned with up to a certain point is going to be is elevation. You're not measuring anything else. The only thing you want is the horizontal. So the only thing that you're measuring is the elevation and the change in between. So your stakes are going to be changing in size as you go along as the elevation changes. Right, Kia?
If
Why
the
are they
water
going
is
to
bending
change?
or the earth underneath is bending, then the distance of the top of the stake to the water or the ground would change. If it doesn't, then it's a horizontal plane along with the horizontal plane you created in space.
All right,
Unless you're setting up your benchmark, and assuming that your first stake is at 1.5, right? So you shoot back at your hold on. Yeah. So you shoot back, you hit your first stake, right? When you're using your theodolite, you hit your first stake. Now that grade stake, if the Earth was a flat plane the entire way, every one of those stakes, depending on the elevation of the ground underneath, should be exactly the same. If you're saying that the Earth is flat, so the other question is, where is that grade stake? If you're hitting that grade stake with your theodolite, not the grade stake, but the story pole with your theodolite, every time, it should be relatively, within a small margin of error, it should be relatively at the same exact height.
Correct. Now, what would give you that small error?
Well, there's a lot of different things that'll give you that small error. Someone could hold the story pole a little bit wrong. You could have, you could have a lot of different,
angle. You bumped it.
There's a lot of different things that are the calculations that could be off. Right? Yeah, I mean most of the problems are from Jesus fucking Christ. Dude, you can't even let people finish a sentence before you start talking.
Just continue, man. Just continue.
Yeah.
We're having
Talking to a
conversation.
toddler, man.
No,
So,
we're both having a
listen.
conversation. Just continue.
So listen. So most of the errors that actually occur are due to human interaction. Would you agree with that?
I've already said it like 10 times. Now, would you agree that if you did this, hang on, if me and you went and did it, and we closed our loop and double checked and did everything we could to create a horizontal plane over a mile, would you agree if we only had about a 1/4 inch deviation in the drop from horizontal over water, would you agree that water is also horizontal?
I would say we'd probably be rechecking it, right?
Okay, so we recheck it and we get it, and it's a 1/2 inch deviation, but it's nowhere near 8 inches. What would you say then?
I'd probably start looking at, what else was involved in, figuring out why I'm getting the wrong calculations.
Until when?
What do you mean until when? If the calculations are wrong, if the calculations are wrong,
calculation. There is no calculation.
Yes.
No, these are physical measurements.
Yeah,
You're
so
not calculating
there are calculations that are involved with physical measurements.
Name one.
I
Name
really hope that you use them. I mean,
Name
how
one.
far? Do you know how far your stakes were apart? All of them?
Yes.
Yeah. How far was your benchmark away from
you're
your stakes?
The first, I'm gonna say 25, 200 foot.
Motherfucking
I haven't written
calculations.
down. So would you, right? You would write it down, and you would write. That's not calculating. What are you talking about?
Oh, really? So you're saying that
really?
what you did was you went out there, you set a benchmark, and you said that's 450 feet right there. You didn't take any measurements?
Yeah, we measured. We didn't calculate.
Oh, okay.
Anything.
I'm just making sure that making sure that these measurements, these fancy things, are not calculations. Freaking moron.
It's all right.
It's worthless talking to you sometimes because you so far you've lied to me in conversations, and you sat here and told me bullshit. So and then on top of that, you continue to talk over other people. So
Can I ask you a question?
you can continue to say whatever you want, but until you prove to me that you've taken the correct measurements, I think you're taking wrong measurements.
Why do I have to prove that to anybody? You can go prove it to yourself. I don't have to prove that to anybody. You just said what I did was correct. Now all you have to do is go do it yourself. You told the whole room that established.
I didn't say what you did was correct. I told you your measurements were wrong. That's exactly what I said.
Okay.
So get your words right.
Don't trust me.
Stop lying.
Go do it yourself.
And keep your
I'm not
words
lying.
to yourself.
You just need
you hear me?
to be a liar.
You want to keep talking?
You hear me? Go do it yourself.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Everyone
I hear
has
you
heard
keep
you.
whining. Every day.
You know who's been
every day that you're on here.
You know who's been
either of you. What's the point?
Hello, Akia live. Hello. Akia, what did you?
Twit has benefited today. She now knows.
I have a picture that I posted. I was wondering if you could take a look at it because I'm still very confused as to how you continue the line using reverse zenith angles. So I show a circle and I'm measuring at 4 stations. And I go from station 1 to station 2, starting on the left. And the red line indicates me going one direction, the blue line indicates me shooting back. Then I go to the next station, I shoot down to the next station, and red line indicates going forward, and blue coming back. I'm establishing a segmented curve by doing that. How are you not doing that? How am I getting the first line to continue on all the way into space?
He used multiple stakes and then just used one stake to line his horizontal up with. If I'm not mistaken.
Akia, what did you mean with closing the loop?
If you used one stake, I could see what your issue would be. But if you use multiple stakes and you're lining it up with keeping your horizontal, then
how are you using multiple stakes, Jeremy?
Well, you go down, you set a stake out in front of you, but instead of setting just one, you put multiple stakes. So that way, when you move your instruments, you have more than just one stake to line up to make sure you're not changing your horizontal. No.
All right, you're talking stakes at multiple increments of distance away from you at once.
Yeah, you go out, you put a stake 50 yards.
He didn't do anything of that sort.
Oh, I thought that's what he did.
Yes, I did.
Rakia.
This is not what you've been saying. The story's changing.
Well, that's
I asked
what
him
I
that
heard,
earlier, and
but
he
I
said
could
yes,
be wrong.
that's what he did.
Yeah, Curve doesn't want to hear Twit. Twit, I hear that you're understanding this. Curve they have a mental block.
No, I'm listening, and I mean, it really, neither side is doing very well because it's just yelling back and forth. But I do have a question I think might help. Do you have this information in a video form, or did you write it down? Is it available to read all these details, or are we gonna? Because I don't know if it's necessarily the right thing to do is to go over every single detail of somebody's experiment online. You know, like just on a voice chat.
And I understand. This is was the start of my journey, right? I went out and did some photography of the Lake Pontchartrain Bridge. It's the first thing I saw. And then we went out and did this measurement as a group. And when I did this and posted it, I got called a liar, and I'm just trying to deceive. They doxed me and all that. So yeah, I'm not into proving it to anyone like that with this information. If you want to come down yourself, we have places. We'll have a great time. I'll tell you that.
Well,
many people.
Stanley invited everybody
know, right?
a couple
And this
years
is something
ago.
you can go out. Yeah, this is something you can do yourself now. This is repeatable. If I'm doing it wrong, right? So I say this too. If I'm doing it wrong and I tell you how to do it and you go out and you do the same way and you're doing it wrong, then we're going to get the same measurements, right? So we need to figure out if it's right or not. If there's some problems with it, then we need to figure out how to correct it. And if there's a better way to do it, I've always asked.
I have a question. Did you move the storyboard?
Wait a second, Pyro. He never answered if he had. You didn't answer if you had a place where somebody could see this experiment or read about it.
Yes, I have it all written down. I have it all on my computer. I've posted videos. It had my family in it. It had me in it. Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore.
So did Bearded get to see? Did Bearded get to see the actual experiment that you were doing, or is there a way you?
I don't know if Bearded was around that. I would never. You think I'd show Bearded anything?
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe you should share your information with him so he doesn't have to ask you every single question.
Twit, when I heard your question,
know
I didn't hear anything about crying like a victim.
Twit, he thinks you're taking story poles and sticking them in the mud. That's how much he knows about surveying.
But that's because he doesn't know what you did. He's just listening, and maybe you're explaining it where he can't understand it. So if you had it in a video where he could watch it, it would probably help.
Please understand that you don't have to know anything about what I did to know that you would never, ever, ever need more than one story pole to do what I did. And you would never.
Jeremy, this is your one warning for the hot mic before you get muted, dude. Text and now in voice.
I have a question about the storyboard. Did you leave it in one place, or did
That's
you
how
move
I
it?
know that he knows nothing about surveying.
Did you move the storyboard as you added more poles, or did you just leave it there in the original spot?
Did I move the what?
Story pole.
Yes, you moved the story pole.
What?
You obviously have never used one either.
Well, why would you want to move it? Wouldn't you want
I
to
can
keep it in
tell
one
right
place
now,
when you
you've
do your
never
measurements?
ever listen to me. Listen to me. Just be quiet because you're making yourself look dumb. You've never
No, I'm
ever
not.
tell the truth.
You
You've
don't
never
understand,
ever
do you?
used a theodolite and a story pole, have you? No, you don't know because you wouldn't have asked that question if I moved the story pole.
No, if I had to,
you have no clue.
I would compare the difference between the two story poles. I would actually at least have two. Keep one
The
original
fact that
and move
you
one.
asked that question means you have no clue.
So where's your baseline then? You have no baseline.
It's called a benchmark, sir.
All right,
Where's
who's
the
the other
benchmark?
guy who's the other guy who's talking about surveying? Not Rakia.
Bearded.
Bearded.
No, the other guy.
No, it's
Was it
Bearded.
Soroki?
Soroki. Yeah.
Is
The guy that I
Soroki
was
still
talking
here?
to that was saying that you can close.
I have
What was his name?
I have a question. I have a question for Rakia. Rakia, what did you mean with closing the loop?
research surveying. It just makes sure that you've created a horizontal. You double back.
What do you mean by it?
That's just a term used.
That's
in
not
surveying.
what
How
it
do you
means.
do? How do you actually perform the?
Oh my God.
Well, while you think about that, we've got a super chat. Rakir is doing splendid, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for proof of a flat plane. So this is from Maslow. This is for $5, and he says, "Hey," he doesn't say "hey." He says, "Okay, everyone, be quiet for a moment. Chemo, here is 5 to up your voice chat game. I expect to see some wins from you next week, or I'm refunded my ticket." That's from Maslow. Thank you for that, Maslow, $5. So yeah, get back to this.
Okay, Sarok. Sarok, I'd like to try and jump in here. Sarok, for $20. No. Are you here?
Yeah.
Okay. I posted a picture at 3:08.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, from what I kept using the variable. He doesn't have a baseline.
All right. And I'm not. Everybody who's talked about this, I haven't been able to understand what the methodology is. So I'm trying to pictorially represent it. So at 3:08, I showed from points A to B. I have a red and a blue line doing forward and backward shot.
Mm-hmm.
Now I go to position B. I set up my station and I measure from B to C.
Right.
And that now I'm no longer continuing my green line,
Okay.
but I've reestablished a new horizontal.
Right. Okay.
So how do I continue that green line with your method?
Well, I mean, your green line itself is kind of janky, but that's besides the point. So what
That's supposed to be a continuation of A and B. So.
Yeah, no, I get it. But so what you would have done was after shooting point A and point B, right? So then you're going to have to you could attempt to shoot C depending on the distance. It really does depend on the distance that you're going to be going. But if you were going to shoot with C itself, then you would have to reset your transit, make sure that you're lined up with A again, and continue on from the point that you had set the horizontal on A. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so you're going to basically continue the same angle.
Right, exactly. Making sure that your horizontal is still horizontal between A and B.
What does that mean? That's where you're losing us, I think.
So, say you shot A. You shot A. That's your first line. Then you shot B. So that's your continuation of your horizontal line. So now you've established that that's your horizontal. So you know that A and B are horizontal. So you could set up your transit at B, shoot back at A, make sure that your transit is in the same level, and to double check your work. Then you could also shoot C, continuing along that same line, but you would have to go to set up your transit in another position to continue that line.
So essentially, what I'd have to do is extend my story pole at C to intersect with that.
No, your story pole is only there to show to tell you what the elevation is. That's all it's there for. You can establish that elevation. You can establish that elevation with that storyboard and make sure because your level, your horizontal, is already established by your equipment. You see what I'm saying?
No.
No.
all you're shooting for is distance. All you're trying to do is make sure that in the distance, whatever is level where you are is level over there too.
Moyok, can you figure out how to get the answer from them that we're looking for?
No, I thought that's what my picture was supposed to do. I thought it would do, other than being sloppy.
All right, let me try.
Hold on.
Let me. You ensure that line AB is collinear with line BC.
You obviously have two people who have done surveying who agree with each other, and y'all don't understand. Maybe it's
Please,
y'all,
Rakia,
right?
you're not helping.
Yeah, but he's agreeing. We're both agreeing with each other that a horizontal plane
Soroki,
can be
do you get the
established in
question?
free space. as he interrupted me.
Rakia, you're not being asked.
I thought it was pretty
right
straight. I thought it was pretty straightforward. I mean, you know.
How do you get AB to make sure that it's collinear with BC?
So you're established. The only thing that you know is that your instrument is level. That's the very first thing. That's the only thing you know is that your instrument is level.
Okay,
so,
where's your instrument? Pre-A?
Well, are you starting at A or are you trying to find?
I'm asking you
A?
right now because of what you said so far. You said you shoot to A, so I'm taking it. The instrument.
Okay, so
is not even
I'm
in
standing
here.
back away from A. So my transit is set outside of A. My storyboard is going, or my story pole is going to be set at A. I'm setting the elevation. I'm saying that the elevation is going to be 1.5. All right. So on the storyboard, 1.5. Set the stake in. That stake is now at 1.5. All right. So as if the distance, if you're shooting, depending on the level of accuracy you're going for, you could shoot B as well. And set the stake at B. So now you have a horizontal line between A and B. That that line doesn't change. You know, that's your horizontal line. So you can't shoot C because it's too long of a distance. So now you're going to have to go and you're going to have to make sure that set up in another position and turn around and shoot A and B as well, to make sure that you're back on the same level. You see what I'm saying? You're just continuing along that same horizontal and attempting to keep those stakes as horizontal as possible in the same line. So that's all you're doing. To continue on, you turn around, you make a line again, then you turn back around, you say I still want the 1.5. You go to C. C is the next stake. I mean, you could do it two ways there. You could go from B, set up your transit again and shoot again and set to C, or you can shoot from the benchmark that you've established. So
C should be twice as long as A.
So does that?
But that's depending on distance. Where you have to. Right now, you're thinking on a very large scale. You know, with those stakes really far apart.
Right,
you know,
but the exaggeration.
We're talking like 200 feet here.
Yeah, in this case, I'm exaggerating the size of the Earth, but
so longest distance you
the
would
question
shoot
is, I don't see how with your method, how we're extending the length of C to intersect with that line.
Extending the length of C, I'm not sure. I'm not picking up what you're throwing down.
If I reestablish at point C and I shoot back to B, I'm going to establish a new horizontal.
No, it's going to be the same.
Well, okay, so again, we're talking about distance. If you're shooting a long distance, yes, it's going to be a completely separate horizontal.
No, it will be no matter what. Whether you can measure it or not is another question. But it will be every one of these stations has a separate horizontal.
You're assuming a sphere.
Right?
The only reason it would be
yes, I'm assuming a sphere right now. That's what I'm trying to talk about, please.
Yeah. So again, what Rakia was talking about, closing the loop, is it's actually an establishment for mathematics.
Reducing errors, yeah.
Reducing errors.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It reduces the errors. It reduces the errors in the throughout the entire measurements.
Yeah.
But so that you don't get one deviation on one side as opposed to spreading it out throughout the entire thing.
How do you physically close the loop? You just back shoot to the original state?
Yes, you're just back shooting.
Okay.
That's one way, and then you can also do depending on where it really depends on what you're measuring and how you're measuring it.
Is that back shooting from just the next, or is that back shooting from the last to the first?
You're gonna that's gonna depend on how how many times you want to troubleshoot.
What's
Right,
your
Rakia?
longest distance that you would shoot?
All right,
The
do you
longest
think we
distance?
could
I don't know, 200
wrap
feet.
this up soon
200 foot.
and move on to something else?
I mean, but is that 200 feet with the level of accuracy within centimeters, or or what? It really depends on your level of accuracy.
Right, I agree. I always say 200 to 400 foot is my max, depending on the atmospheric conditions.
Yeah.
Do you agree that the atmosphere affects what you're seeing through that theodolite, that scope?
Yes, but that
course it
also
does,
depends on the time of day that you want to shoot, right?
I agree. But
Okay.
that's why we do short distances, right?
Well, yes, short distances, or picking the correct time of day to shoot, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
But when you my problem with that is when you always re-establish that horizontal, you will follow any shape that it has. It doesn't
You're right.
distinguish between any shape at all.
You're
and
right.
I'm not presupposing any shape. Whatever shape it has, it will follow that as a tangent line, right?
You're exactly right. Exactly right. Which is why they have an issue when okay, so plane surveying will not go over a certain amount of distance. It just won't work. Your calculations will be completely off. You can ask as many plane surveyors as you want how they're gonna measure out a large parcel of land, and they're gonna tell you they're gonna grid it out. Well, as soon as they grid it out, they're attempting to eliminate that deviation because of the curvature of the Earth. And if they don't know that the curvature of the Earth is part of the issue, then they're not doing their job. They didn't read the entire book. They only read up to like page 200 or something.
All right, let me ask this then. I think this might be a clarifying question. Okay, I'm still lost, but I think this might clarify. How would the process differ if I asked you to make a level line across the whole field?
To make a level line?
Yes, I want one that contours to the earth. I want it to be the same elevation everywhere.
Well, you want it to be the same elevation throughout.
Yes.
So
like a road or a bridge, a causeway.
yeah. So if you're establishing, you already established a horizontal on a short distance. So then you're oh man. So what
Don't worry, man. It's tough.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, like, surveying isn't like,
Right.
pick up a tool and do it,
No,
like
I agree.
there's
I've been trying to explain this for a while. It's tough.
Okay, so over long distances, for a bridge, again, it's going to depend on the size of the parcel that you want to do, but most of the time, what you would do is
dead level, and then 2 miles dead horizontal.
2 miles dead level and 2 miles dead horizontal. I guess that would depend on. I guess that would depend on what you want to level your horizontal to at that point.
Can I ask this guy a question when you guys are
length of my
done?
range, not a level line. I want a horizontal. Horizontal and level are not the same. I want to have a differentiate between the two.
So you would establish your horizontal, and then you would continue out that horizontal regardless of the elevation. That's all you would do. You wouldn't. It wouldn't matter about the distance that you could do. If you're establishing if you're establishing a level, you're leveling to the earth. If you're establishing a horizontal, I mean, I don't really know how to say, you're kind of asking two weird questions.
Can I?
At that point,
Can I ask you an actual question, or am I asked?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, you said you read this surveying handbook thing.
Yep.
Does it say that level is curved and or sorry, does it say that level is flat and flat is curved or something in this book anywhere?
What?
No.
Yes. No, it doesn't say that. Would you, if you said something was flat, you wouldn't mean it was curved also, right?
If you said something was flat, then it would be flat. If you said something was level, then what are you leveled to?
Yeah, but you wouldn't say curved is flat, right? In the surveying world, you wouldn't.
Listen, when you say flat, a wall can be flat. A piece of paper can be flat. You can hold that piece of paper any which way you want. It's still flat.
Yeah, no doubt. Just somebody told. Sorry, go ahead.
So when you say curved is flat, then you're just saying that flat would have a shape, right? But flat is just flat. There is no discernment for for level and flat.
Yeah, somebody just told me that in the surveying world that flat is level and level is curved. So I was just wondering, as a surveyor, what your thought was on that. Does that sound silly, or is that what you learned in surveying?
Look,
Cool.
I'm not a surveyor.
Oh, I thought you were a surveyor.
surveying.
My bad.
I do surveying, but I'm not a surveyor. I've read the handbook.
But you read the book. Did it say that anything like that in the book anywhere that you can recall, or?
Nope.
All right, that's all. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, Larry and main surveyor, those guys do this for a living. I do it, to take positions for locality. That's all I do.
Okay, can I ask you something about Larry Scott?
Do you realize what you just said to Jeremy?
What's that?
This is what Jeremy heard from you. If you take a large section of land or water that has 0 elevation changes, so it's flat, then that means it's planar, flat, not curved.
Well, no, Rumpus. Hold on.
That's what he just heard from you.
No, hold on. Rumpus told me that in the surveying world, flat means level and level means curve. So I was just wondering if this guy sounded like he knew what he was talking about when it came to surveying. I was wondering if that's what he had read anywhere along.
Apply that to what I just said, Jeremy.
So is Rumpus your go-to for information?
Absolutely not. I'm just checking with the surveying people to see if what he said was actually true or not.
Well, if he's not, then why would you even bring it up?
So you mentioned Larry
I'm
Scott.
checking it. Go ahead, Rocky.
You mentioned Larry Scott. Is he your go-to for surveying? You said he's a surveyor, does it every day. Would you trust his established, surveying expertise?
I think he does a very good job. Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, he does get paid to do it, right?
Okay, I understand. So when he made a video one morning on Jose's channel and was shooting a slab of a building, shot from A to B over a half a mile, and got a 2-inch drop over that distance and said that slab was following the curvature of the earth, would you agree with him?
I don't know what slab he was shooting. I don't know anything about the building.
Yeah, you might want to, before you mention Larry Scott's name as a professional surveyor, you might want to dig up that video from Jose's channel.
Well, I mean, if he was there when that slab was put in, or did the measurements for that slab being put in, maybe he knows something more than you do.
He just stopped on the way to work and took his theodolite out, his $20,000 total station or whatever he said he was using to make himself seem smart, videoed himself taking a one shot from A to B on that slab and came up with a drop from horizontal over that distance, over that one shot distance, which is way more than 200 foot, right? Half a mile. And told the audience that was earth curve. That's why I'm telling you. Now, you've been reasonable here. I'm trying to help you out. Before you mention Larry Scott as a professional surveyor, you might want to go watch that video.
Well, now, how's that helping me out? Because we don't know anything about that building, do we?
I know that it, no matter what, the slab, the concrete, is not following the curvature of the earth. And when a professional surveyor takes a one shot over a half a mile and says that, then I'm probably not going to think he's a professional surveyor anymore.
Well, how do you know?
We know damn good and well it is.
I'm just telling this guy to be careful using that name as
Well,
credibility.
why does
You
it
just
drop?
told me you knew. You just told me you knew, and I'm trying to establish this because you know
Okay,
right
well,
now you're telling me that he made an assumption, but
okay.
what I'm hearing is you're making an assumption too.
Okay, what's the max distance that you personally, for accuracy, would use a theodolite?
A theodolite? I don't use a
Yeah.
theodolite. You know, I don't use a theodolite. As I said, I use it for
What do you
locality.
Okay,
Transom. Yeah, just simple.
Okay, so any scope.
That's
right?
all I
Still
use.
a scope, still a 32 times zoom, right? Well, what
Still
distance would you
32
use that?
or 24, whichever. Yeah.
Right. What would you use that over distance for accuracy? Would you ever shoot a half mile for accuracy?
I mean, yeah. Actually, I would. You know why? Because I use a rifle scope that far. So, I mean, yeah, I would.
So earlier you said 200 to 300.
I mean, do I trust my rifle scope?
No, we're not. We're talking about measurements.
Do I?
We're not talking about blowing the head off.
Yeah, that's still a measurement. I mean, I still have to put the bullet on.
Right, but you got some. We're talking about 2 inches here, not you know, a foot of head. So
Yeah.
let's stick to the story. Let's
I know.
not
I'm
change it.
totally agreeing with you. If you target shooting, you
Calm
still
down.
shoot.
Yeah, you're gonna adjust. Yeah, you're gonna adjust the scope.
Looking scope, right?
Click.
Yeah, you still
click.
see that far, right?
Yeah, one click up, one click left. Yeah, click. So that's how scopes work. We're not talking about that. We're talking about optics for measurement.
Does that change? Yeah, I'm saying you're still using that optics to measure. You know,
Okay,
from
well, you
you
shoot
to the
200
distance
foot.
from you to that target is still measurement, right?
Okay, when
You have to know your bullet drop and everything else.
Yeah,
So would
we're
I
not
trust
talking
my
about that. We're
scope
talking
at that
about
point?
measuring.
If I could see
If
it,
you want to talk about
I
deer
would,
hunting, we can. I love the deer.
I would
shoot all the time.
definitely, I would
You hear
definitely
this?
try it.
You hear
Yeah,
this? These
I'd
are
try it.
bullets I bought this morning. I shoot all the time. All right. So we can talk about that next. What we're talking about is a surveyor using a scope with crosshairs in it to get a measurement over a half a mile. Do you think he's accurate?
What's your level of accuracy?
Name it. You tell me. What you think it would be? An inch off?
Oh, it'd be an inch off.
You think it'd be 2
It'd
inches?
probably be about. It'd probably be like. Well, I don't know.
So at least an inch,
maybe
though, right?
3/4. Yeah, it'd probably be an inch off.
Depending
But still,
on the day, right?
Okay. So at a half mile, all right. You take that. You take your measurements at a half mile, right? And you get a 4-inch drop on the earth, right? Does that 1 inch make a difference?
Well, that's not the scenario. But if you want to talk about that, we can. You agreed
I mean,
earlier it would depend on the atmospheric conditions of the day whether you could shoot 200 foot or 400 foot. Now we're talking about 2,700 foot, and you're saying the atmosphere of the day is not going to affect it more than
I didn't say that at all. Not one bit. Now you're putting words in my mouth. I'm saying that I would take multiple measurements.
Would you now?
Would you? Would you?
I would never. No, I would never, ever shoot a half a mile. You know why? Because it would never, ever be accurate. What do you think?
How much accuracy are we talking about?
Accurate
to what? He said it was 2 inches of earth curve, so that's 2 inches of accuracy there to claim that it was definitely earth curve.
So I mean, what if
2-inch drop on?
What if his measurement was off an inch? Would it make a difference?
Why would it be off an inch?
Because of the atmosphere.
I'm just asking if his measurement was off an inch, would it make a difference?
Soroki, listen to what he's saying. These are easy pickings here.
He said, "What if?" Yeah.
Why an inch, Rakia?
That's exactly my point, because you would never what if a measurement as a professional
why
surveyor.
an inch?
Sir.
He's not trying to survey something professionally here to lay it out, to set it up. Or grade.
Said he's a professional surveyor, and he just got 2
He's
inches
showing
of
you.
curve.
He's showing you what's there.
On YouTube.
He's showing you what's there.
This is what he did.
I know you don't want to answer questions like this.
I'm using these very expensive, high technical tools as a professional surveyor, this is
Why do you think it would be off an inch?
Survey. It's 2 inches of earth.
I don't care. You don't
over
seem to know how to use your fucking tools. Big deal.
I don't.
Why an inch off?
Oh,
Why an inch off?
I think it would be more than an inch on some days. I think it
Why?
might be less than an
Do
inch on
what?
others.
How many times do I gotta fucking ask you?
The atmospheric conditions, which I said about 5 times already.
Okay, such as, are you talking about refraction? Just refraction?
Refraction would be part of it, yeah.
Do you know what the standard refraction would be? At standard atmosphere, the refraction that you would get from standard atmosphere over a mile.
Let's say 0. Let's just say 0.
No, about
that's why I said
a little over an inch.
Be a part of it.
Just a touch over an inch at a mile.
Okay.
At a half a mile, that's going to be greatly reduced.
So you're saying that there was no refraction.
But you're going to put an inch or more on it just because.
Okay, what else could have affected, Curve?
What's the degree, your error on the instrument?
Oh, he didn't know. He didn't say that.
Who didn't know?
Yeah, sorry, I dropped off for a second.
So error of instrument, human error, refraction, what else? And we're talking a half a mile here, not very far. What else would affect it?
That should be just about it.
Nothing else, huh?
Well, say it. Don't play games, bitch.
No, you're the expert here. I'm asking you.
You're the one hinting that there's something more. If there's not, shut your face about it.
Well, there must be, right? I mean,
what?
2 people who've surveyed today, right now, me and the other guy have surveyed probably more than collectively everybody on the panel put together, are saying you should shoot about 200 to 400 foot because the atmosphere is going to affect your measurements. And you're saying it's only an inch over a mile, which is ludicrous.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said, Rakia.
Where it's about 20 foot of difference.
That's not what I said, was it?
Does the atmosphere affect your shot over more than 400 feet?
Yes, it can. It can affect it. Hold on. It can affect it at 5 feet. Can it?
Right, exactly. Yes.
So we already know that.
So what?
And then they have deviations. They have deviations, and they also have a scale in the back of your surveying book, right?
Yeah, I agree. And you can.
So you can go through that scale, and it'll actually go up. How far up does that scale go, Rakia?
I'd have to look. I don't remember. I'd have to look. I'm not a professional surveyor. I do have the book, though. I know the scale.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
well, when you get that scale, we'll go over that.
Oh,
right?
you're saying that it can't be more than an inch, then?
I didn't say I did. I was guessing. I didn't say I knew. Did I?
Okay.
I said I said I don't know. Maybe I didn't have a clue. Did I?
So you don't know either.
Well, would you? Do you keep the calculations for every piece of equipment that you have in your truck in your head?
You brought it up.
Okay. I didn't bring it up. What the fuck? I didn't bring it up. I told you that there would be a deviation, wouldn't I?
Scale in the back of the book.
Oh my God. You went from knowing the scale to the scale in the back of the book, right?
I never said I knew the scale.
No, you asked if I knew the scale, right? You know how much? Do you know how much?
Because you brought up the scale.
Yeah. I said they do have scales for that, right?
Yeah, and that kind of.
And you agreed, right?
You knew there was a scale in the back of the book, and you knew the scale. And I immediately said,
I didn't say I knew the scale.
But I don't know.
Never once did I say that. Never once did I say that. Stop saying stuff that I didn't say.
Could you use your transit over 2,500 foot and get an accurate measure? Yes or no?
What level of accuracy are we talking about? Again,
within 8 inches.
Within 8 inches? I don't know. Maybe. I'd have to check it.
That's what I thought. That's my whole point. You don't know.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. What did you think? Wait. Let's go back. What did you think? What did you think?
You don't know. Because you've never done it.
Yeah, well, no, I've never done it. Have you?
Okay. Yes.
You went out there and shot a half a mile with your transit.
On different days, yes.
Okay. And what was your level of accuracy?
Well, it's way off. I mean, it's extremely off.
Okay, so
What was
you don't know either.
Extreme off isn't an answer.
And the further you go, right? This is
Extremely off
another
isn't an
thing I was
answer.
going
Was
over.
it 1 inch?
Hang
Was
on,
it
I think
2?
my
Was it 5?
contractor's here. I'll be back if this is him. But yeah, you can go out and do it yourself. Here's another thing you can go do yourself. Oh yeah, my contractor's here. Hang on.
Yeah.